can't believe this is happening. Hello, everyone. It takes a while to load up. Thank you for tuning back into another episode of the Heinz Report Case File edition. Today is a special kind of episode because usually you don't get to hear stories of false accusations, stories of allegations made not made against a celebrity first and foremost, but against the everyday man like myself and yourself. So today we're going to be exploring the and uncovering, looking at the story of Troy Pharoah Charles, a local Gary, Indiana citizen who was accused of very heinous crimes, which I might get demonetized on Twitter for not on Twitter, sorry, on YouTube for repeating. So we are going to be changing the words around on the stream. So we're gonna say illegal coitus, illegal coitus. We're gonna also change words for narcotics. So you'll hear phrases like baking soda referring to you know well-known narcotics. So without further ado, let's begin the stream. Let's roll the intro. Hello. Okay, so yeah, that was yeah, so in regards to this case, I have Troy here with me to discuss what happened with him, uh everything that went on when these allegations hit. I also have his sister here with me as well, who has witnessed this case, who has basically witnessed this whole thing happen, and they're going to try their best to give everyone here a snapshot or the most accurate depiction of what went on, what a possible reason of why this whole thing could have happened. I'll do my best to keep to kind of steer the in the direction to get as much information as possible. But without further ado, thank you so much, guys, for choosing to sit down with me. Thank you so much, Nicole, for actually reaching out to me to discuss this case, because it is a very, again, like I said in the intro, no, not many people actually get to hear stories like this for the everyday person. So why don't you kick us off, like Nicole, what happened?
Well, since
Yeah. No, no, understood. Understood. Well, yes. So, Troy, the reason why I went to Nicole, just for full disclosure, is because she was the one that reached out to me. So I was trying to lay out the groundwork on, why you actually, did that, reached out to me, like, to discuss all of this. But yes, Troy is the individual here today, and Troy, when talk me through what happened. So when did this whole begin? Like, why did it get here? What happened?
Off, I just want to make a disclaimer that the my values and opinions doesn't have anything to do with you or your podcast, and that the I won't be able to say any names or people that's involved. I can't really say their names because I never gotten their permission to do so, and it's called the anomaly or something like that that protects. Right, exactly. That protects those. So that's just a disclaimer. Um, this is a very interesting life experience, very humbling, I should say. It made me take a step back to realize how bad a judicial system and how bad this W movement two movement is, and in contrast of saying like how women uses the system and weaponizes against not only just, it's not about a gender or race issue, but just men, period. And I'm sure probably throughout everyone's life they've been lied to, or they've told a lie, or been lied on. You know, you understand what I'm saying? So this is very interesting. What happened was a young lady that I knew from when I was in high school. She reached out to me on Facebook as we were older in the year, what, 2015, right? Yeah, it was 2015. And she thought that I was, well, she played it like that I was somebody else, but she knew exactly who I was. And when we talked, she's like, "Okay, well, yeah, you're this guy and this guy," and I was like, "Yeah, you know who I am." And she was like, "Oh, okay." So we started talking, and we ended up, talking about linking up, but which we never did. So like a whole year passed, and she ended up getting back with me via Facebook, and we talked a little bit. It was, an event came up as to where it was her birthday. And so she was like, "Yo, I want to, be able to see you and, get to, chat with you and catch up and stuff like that." So I was like, "Okay, cool. Let me see if I got time." Is actually, she was like, "Yo, it's my birthday party. So,
Mhm.
if that's okay, can you come, and escort me?" And I was like, "All right, that's cool."
Mhm.
So I ended up going there, and I met with these, the so-called alleged victim, which,
Mhm.
lied and told these horrific lies on me. So I met with her at the club, and we had a few drinks, and it was pretty good time, decent time. And we left from the club, and she offered, for me to take her home. And so I was like, "Okay, cool, that's fine. I'll take you to the crib." But we'll get to what all was said in the affidavits and the statements. I just wanted to let you know what
Mhm.
take through what happened,
Mhm.
truthfully on my end,
Mhm.
just like you asked. So I said, "Oh, like where you live?" So I went to take her home, and she gave me some excuse like, "Oh, we can't go up in my crib right now, and and I
Mhm.
got some things going on up there." So I was like, "Okay, fine. I know I got a little spot, that where we can go to." And
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, that's it right there. And so I was like, "Okay, fine,
Mhm.
I'll take you." So we hit it off, and we went to the little spot where we was at. Um, Wasn't no alcohol involved. It was just, a few little party favors that was involved. Excuse me, hold on a second. My,
All good, all good. So
yeah,
while you're
hold
doing,
on.
so
Okay. Yeah, so
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 you
we go ahead.
no no no, you were saying in regards to
Okay, we
the
Mhm.
was at the spot where we were
the
chilling
alcohol that
at.
was there.
Yeah, we was at the spot where we was chilling at, and so she wanted to, I like to be fresh and stuff like that. I'm just put it all out there. I like, so we jumped in the shower. We both jumped in the shower. We took a shower. We cleaned ourselves off. From the club, you coming home from the club, you're a little, from dancing and whatnot. So,
Mhm.
so we start making out and whatnot, and enjoying ourselves and doing what adults do,
Mhm.
consensually, consensually. I mean, want to
Mhm.
put that out there. It's consensual. So, we're both enjoying each other, having a good time, and as time progressed. You know how it is after a night after the club when you leave at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. It's going to be
Mhm.
6, 7 o'clock in the morning before you know it.
Mhm.
So we was having a good time, and then that time comes where it's morning time. So now I have to drop her off. So she's like, "No, don't drop me off at my house. Take me to my mother's." And so I was like, I
Mhm.
agreed. I was like, "Okay, fine. I'll take you to her mother." I dropped her off. Like I said, we had a great time. Everything was cool. Everything was consensual. Everything was cool. I had a great time. So later
Oh,
on that day, go ahead.
no, so go so I'm guessing you're getting to the point where this whole thing. So
Yeah.
everything was fine. You said that it was all consensual, everything like that. When did it become
Yeah.
non-consensual?
It was never up to that point. It was never to that point. It was always consensual with me and her from the time from the first time all the way up until I left to Texas in November. So these are those. So I was going to get into that part where I was talking about how she didn't want me, how she asked me to take her to her house, but then she said, "Oh no, it's I got some things going on up there, so we can't go up there. So do you have somewhere else that we can go to?"
Mhm.
And Nicole made this synopsis about why she said that,
Mhm.
and all of that is in like the affidavit statement where she lied and said, "Oh, Mr. Charles must have threw my phone out of my house." So she was like, "Oh, I was passed out and I was this and that, and we rolled past my house." So how would I know where she lived if she didn't tell me? I
Mhm.
never knew
Right.
where she lived in the first place. So
Mhm.
how would I know where she lives if she didn't tell me? But
Mhm.
she claims in the affidavit where she lied to the detectives blatantly, saying that, "Oh, we rolled past my house and he must have threw my phone out of his truck and whatnot." So I'm getting to that part. So it was always consensual, to answer your question. It was
Right. So
always
right. So let's back up a bit because I think we went a bit, right to the end of the story before we right to this the end of the story before uh we set the scene. So what exactly, you know
uh-huh.
when you were arrested, because the arrest didn't come right away. So um
Mhm.
No.
so when did this whole thing actually, like, from reading the affidavit, did this whole started in this was this was in 2019, I believe it was 2019.
17. Right.
2017,
Exactly.
sorry, my bad. 2017. It was on the
Right.
19th that the incident allegedly took place, and then on the 21st she went to the hospital, and then that's
Mhm.
so
Right.
when how comes, like, do you know why it took from 2017 to 2022 to finally get a prosecution on the case, like
Well, because from what my lawyer told me was that the state picked it up. Um, and from what I've also discovered was that the detective that started the case
Investigation. Mhm.
retired. Investigation, I'm sorry, retired.
oh, okay.
And that
S-
that next year. Yeah,
okay,
so they
so
had to bring somebody else in. And so I guess it's like a timely fashion, so where the new detective has to come in and pick up the back end of what he left. So I'm thinking that's how the process was. The protocol was, hey, you have this case, this case, this case, this case, this case, this case. Which one of you wanted to investigate? So I guess that time came in what, August of 20, what was that, 2022? Oh no, in February of 2022, they
right,
brought her back in. They brought her back
Exactly.
in to do another affidavit statement,
A
which
sworn
the affidavit,
statement. Mhm.
a
right,
sworn statement,
Mhm.
which in part where they can actually charge me now. You
Mhm.
right.
know, as long as she's cooperating, as long as she's using the system, they're like, hey, we can charge this guy. And that's another
Mhm.
thing we want to talk about also for later
Mhm.
on. So that's when it got as you say, yeah, when it kind of blew up, and when I got arrested was in August. I mean, well, I got arrested in October
Right.
of 2022. The charges were filed August 19th. I'll never forget it.
Mm.
I was coming from Las Vegas. I was in Vegas for a whole week. I had just got my LLC business plan, action, all everything. I mean, like, yo, the police is coming by your crib, and I'm like, for what? Like, what the hell is going on? She's like, I don't know. So they came back over there a second time, roughed up my neighbors, roughed up her boyfriend, explaining,
Mm.
telling like all my business, like, yo, where is he? Like, I lived in a 3-story building. So my neighbor's upstairs, so you have to go around to the back, to the side to get up. So they like surrounding my crib, and she's like calling me like yo, like they are really on your ass. And I'm like, for what? So I ended up calling the detective because he left a number on my door. So I was like, yo, what are you why are you coming by my house for, harassing me and stuff like that, and harassing my neighbors? And he was like, yo, you have a situation. I was like, what? He was like, your name came up in an R case, which we all know what it is. So I was like, an R case? No way. I was like, that's it can't be true. He said, yeah, in 2017, this is allegedly supposed to have happened.
Right.
So I was like, oh, no way. I was like, I told him something like, yo, I left to Texas that year, and which was the truth. I was like, man, I went to Texas in like November. There's no way somebody could be saying. He was like, yeah, I need you to come down to the station, answer some questions, blah, blah, blah. I was like, no freaking way. You will not see me, and I'm not answering anything. I'm not finna sit down and talk to you guys about something that I didn't do. And he was like, yo, he even sided with me. He said, I understand. I wouldn't do it either. He said, I wouldn't do it either. But
Well, I mean, it's well,
the reason
Gary.
the reason why I had that attitude was because I know for a fact I didn't do any of what he was telling me.
Right.
That's why I had that attitude. And so it got to the point where, like I said, I went to Las Vegas, I came back, and a friend of mine called me. He said, hey, soon as I got off the plane, I was a wanted man. August 19th, just so coincidentally, it's like a movie. It's like this is like some movie shit. So like when I come back from Las Vegas, August 19th of 2022, my face was plastered all over Northwest Indiana Times, as you can see. Man, that was the later article, the man arrested on charges, and they also printed a false a statement or editorial in the Northwest Indiana Times. We'll get to that too. But at this point, August 19th, 2022, like I said, I was in Las Vegas. I'm a wanted man. I just got through coming from Las Vegas, doing some good business deals, making some good business transactions. And now all of a sudden, my face is all over Facebook. I got my phone's blowing up. I just got off the plane. I'm exhausted. I'm tired. And then I come home to this. And so a friend of mine, she came to pick me up from the airport. And she was like, I don't know what's going on, but they're sharing this Northwest Indiana Times saying that you allegedly did this. Well, which Northwest Indiana Times never said allegedly, but they just said, yo, he did this, he did this, he did this, he did this. So I got 15 felony charges against me now. And I know for a fact that I didn't do this, but I'm scared. Like my heart is beating. I'm like, somebody is actually setting me up. And so at that time, go ahead.
No. I was just trying to establish, because you said earlier, like, it's been established that you have kids, you have your own family. Like, how reading those stories, circulating all of that, how did that impact you psychologically? Like, what was going on in your mind in 2022?
Oh, bro, come on, man. Like all of my friends, colleagues, I'm a producer, I'm an artist, I'm a writer. I'm very well known in the Midwest. I've been on TV shows, 106 in Park twice, BET. I've had those platforms. I've been on a World Star Hip Hop with Shawnee O'Neal. Numerous of, I'm talking about with hundreds of thousands and thousands of views. So people know who I am. So that's very much so tarnished because everyone has their opinions and what they would think when they hear certain things. But we live in a time and a generation where everything is internet driven, everything is social media driven. Once you say, hey, the sky is red outside, you're gonna have those Twitter fingers and those fingers type, oh yeah, it is, and believe in everything that people say and paint these narratives instead of getting the facts. So good question. By that being the editorial that Northwest Indiana Times put out, it tore me apart, man. Tore my family apart, man. Tell them, Nicole, my daughter,
Yeah.
My 16, 15, my 15-year-old daughter at the
At the
time.
time, right. So I can pick up when he called me. So, it was on a Saturday. He gave me a call. He said, "Sis, somebody is trying to set me up." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And he was like, "Hold on, I have another call." So as he was on another call, I immediately went to Google and I just typed in his name, and immediately that article that came up from August saying that he was wanted on our drugging, kidnapping, everything, and my mouth just dropped. So he called me back in about an hour later, and I'm like, "Look, don't worry about this." I was like, "I got this. All you need to do is give me a badge and a gun, and we're gonna figure this shit out. We're gonna figure out who it is." And then one of the questions that I asked him, "Who did this?" He said, "I don't know, sis.
Right. So
I
you
don't
guys
know
didn't
who
even
it is." We didn't
so
even
so
know.
you guys
Mm-mm.
didn't even know who made the accusations.
Not
Okay.
at
No,
all.
We're gonna
Not
get
at
into
all.
no,
that. We're gonna get into
right,
that,
okay.
but chat, because chat do have questions for you. We're gonna put your
Okay.
questions to him much later on. But also guys, make sure you hit that like button, please, please, please. Share it as well, so that the YouTube algorithm gods can help us out, because this is a very important story. The details that has come out from this case has actually shocked me, and there is something
Yeah,
that everyone should know as well, because in the state of Gary, Indiana, there is actually no statute of limitations for cases like this, because this is a class one felony. It's a
Mm,
class one felony, and
oh
based
man,
based on
that's
their
good. Yeah,
right. So it's they don't really have a statute of
the-
limitations based,
yeah.
on this. So it could have been brought a much later date, but because it's been brought now and withdrawn, I don't think it's gonna be brought back. Uh, later. He was,
No,
uh, he being Troy. Troy was
mm,
charged here with he was this is the charges here. He was charged with the illegal coitus level 1 and level 3, sexual battery, and strangulation. All of these things were being charged onto him. He was looking at likely 20 years in prison, had it gone to trial.
25 points.
25, 20 to 25. But it didn't. It was
25 to
actually
life, bro.
withdrawn. It was actually withdrawn.
Yeah,
The prosecution decided to
yes.
not go forward with the case, and they didn't continue to press charges after they have, you know, uh, have the discovery, and also they have the deposition, etc. All those key information. They decided to withdraw, and that's what blew my mind, because they didn't just have, you know, they didn't just have uh it wasn't flimsy or anything. They had DNA. They had the deposition from the alleged victim herself. So when did you learn who this person was? Because you said earlier that
Yeah.
that you didn't even know who this person was. It was just circulating that it was a woman. Yes, and that's why when you're going to read these documents, you're not going to see the name of the woman. I've redacted them. We're not going to share that information. But when this all happened and you didn't know who it was, how did you come to learn that it was this person?
Oh man, Nicole is so. That's why I call her my. She's like the goat. She said, okay, bro. She said, bro, listen to me, man. She said, listen, bro. When was you at that club the last time? I'm like, it's not even Hustle and Joe's anymore. And shout out to my man Playo. It's Playos now. And she's like, it's
mm,
Playos. I'm like, yeah, it used to be Hustle and Joe's. So she was like, when was the last time were you at Hustle and Joe's? I had to think. I was like,
mm,
oh, I only been there like a couple of times. She
mm.
was like, now listen, now bro, stop bullshit. When was the last time you was there with the girl that you took? I was like, okay. I was like, but it couldn't have been this person.
Yeah,
She
he
was
said
like,
that.
no. She was like, no, it's her. I was
Yeah.
like, no freaking way it could have been her. We had a great time. We was
Mhm.
kicking it from the summer all the way up until the winter time till I left to Texas.
Mhm.
She was like, no, bro, it's her. You just didn't know she went to the police. You just didn't know that she slandered your name to the police and made all of these false accusations and false allegedly said that you did all of these alleged crimes. You just didn't know. Am I right or wrong?
Happened was she went ahead, went to the police.
He's asking, when did I find out? That was like a day or two after the charges
It
came out.
was, that following
Next
Monday.
day.
It
Yeah,
was Monday that I was like, it is her. Let me go to her Facebook page, and I'm about to screenshot everything. And I went to her
yeah,
Facebook page and find out her birthday was in the month of August.
yeah.
And I did
The
and
day
I did find the flyer for Hustle and Joe's for that day, and that's how we was able to put 2 and 2
we
together.
was able to
We
narrow it
and
down.
we and we actually and we talked to the lawyer that following Tuesday. So we immediately put everything in action. So Troy, go ahead and tell him how we was able to come up with the evidence.
Okay, so
Oh, okay, bro.
what was the relationship with this girl to you?
She
Oh.
was, I mean, like I
I
said
mean,
in
like, I know you explained earlier, not really how you two met or anything like that, but did you guys become like a serious relationship, like, or was it
no,
just that one-off,
Mm-mm.
night
no,
that you just explained?
Mm-mm.
no. We consensually linked up a few times.
About 5, 6
Consensually.
times.
Yeah. I mean, like
5
more,
to
yeah,
5,
that's what
5,
I'm saying.
6 times. Yeah.
From the summer, all right. I see your expression, right. That's
So
the
it wasn't a
expression.
one-off. Right.
That's the expression that everyone have when they hear this story. And it's just like when I was telling it to my lawyer, she was like, before I even gave her the evidence and I was telling her what happened, she did the same thing. She was like, that doesn't sound right. Like you
Wait,
hooked up
wait,
with her
wait.
after the
Again,
alleged. Yeah,
I have to go back to
yeah.
what I asked earlier. I have to go back to what I asked earlier.
Go ahead.
When did it become non-consensual? Because and what I mean by that, I will expand more, is you met up the first time, second time, third time, I'm guessing it was 6 times.
Mm.
When in all of those 6 times did she allege it was actually way more, like,
That's
because in the discovery, she was
right.
she had alleged to have woken up one day after going to a bar. I'm gonna go into it actually really, really, really quickly. So um let me go into it now. So this is the case summary that I've got. Can you guys see properly here? You guys can see that,
Yes.
yeah? All
Yes.
right. Okay. So this is the case summary. Um, and I'm gonna go down to this page. I will make it available so that you guys can go and read it, because this is what I like to what I believe to be um really the anatomy of of a false accusation. But it's I believe it's here. So it says here um that trying to he blew okay, so he says he blew enough. I'm not sure if you guys can see that. It says he blew enough. Okay, I can't even highlight it, so I apologize for that. Let me see if I can highlight it through here. One second. um can I highlight it through here? Hopefully I can highlight it through here. Oh, okay. uh still trying to work this. Okay. Oh, right. Okay. Can I highlight it through here? No, I can't. Can I?
No, no
Oh,
worries. You
no,
can
I
go
can't. I
ahead.
can't. I can't even do that. Okay. So
Mhm.
no. Okay. So I can't highlight it. Unfortunately, I don't know how to. Uh, or that. Okay. So right. So here it basically says. it basically says right here that he blew enough powder on her to make her cough. She panicked and wiped her face because she didn't know what powder was. Suspected it was baking soda, but she didn't know enough about it to know for sure. Mr. Charles continued to hold her hair as he mentioned ex-boyfriend JD. You messed around with all these bum a n-word. That's what you allegedly said, and won't even gonna give a dude like me a chance. He slapped her real hard on the face, let go of her hair, off her hair, and she fell back. Didn't wake up. Redacted didn't wake up until the next morning when there was light outside. She described seeing a sliding door in the living room, and further described the carpet as being shaggy and brown, etc. Mr. Charles was lying next to her on the floor naked. And this is the key part because this is where the allegations actually start. It says she started. There was a sheet on her and grabbed it as she asked where her clothes were. Mr. Charles got up and tossed her clothes to her. She stated her clothes were wet as he told her to get dressed before he was taking her home. So we got, what night is this describing?
That is the night where it was a birthday party where she's saying that that all allegedly happened. That was on August 19th of 2017.
And this is
Right,
the first time that they saw each other and hung out.
This is the time where it was her birthday. She had that party at the club Hustling Joe's, and she invited me,
Mhm,
like I said, out with her. So I went, did it, and we had a good time. And this is the time where she's lying, obviously lying about and expressing what happened. So to answer your question, that was on the night, well, the next morning, the night of the party, the night after the party.
right,
So, just to answer your question, Heinz, there was no thing as unconsensual. That never happened. Again, she went to the police over 48 hours later. Well, I'm sorry, over 30 hours later. And she went to
Right.
the hospital. I'm sorry, went to the hospital, had a R kit performed. She spoke with a detective, and she actually had a conversation with my brother when that night, Troy?
Yeah.
Was it that night?
Yeah.
And
That's where
and
it goes. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but that's
mm,
where it goes back to what I was saying, probably not even 10, 15 minutes ago, about where she says, "Oh, we drove past my house. He must have threw
mm,
my phone out of the car," and all of that. She was saying all of that so that her phone records wouldn't get subpoenaed. She definitely had that phone because I
mhm,
proved that in the court of law. I had the actual dates and times when we had that conversation, which was the actual day that she's talking about, August 20th of 2017. We
and
had a
mind
whole phone conversation,
and mind
and
you I'm sorry.
also we had took pictures. We
Mhm,
took pictures there,
that
and
night,
she posted them on Facebook
the following day,
that
after she
next,
said
yeah, the following day after I
after
dropped her
she
off.
said that she after she said my brother threw her phone out the truck, but she was
Well,
able
well,
to post
this
a
was
photo.
this was before. No, this was before she posted the photos and then later took it down. So after I dropped her off, I would say about a couple of hours or a few hours after I dropped her off, she posted the photos that we took on Facebook from Hustle and Joe's. So she tagged me in it. So
Mhm.
I'm thinking like, she's trying to blow up my spot. Should I add it? Because I have it where it's set up where I have to review it before I add it to my page. So
Mm,
I reviewed it and I was like, oh, she's trying to blow up my spot. She's trying to claim me. The caption was sort of along the lines like, yeah, baby, my baby came out and we finna do this and ooh, this and that, like it was some real live, like we together type shit. So I never added it to my page. Mind you,
oh.
Facebook tells you everything, everything. So she had to see that I saw the pictures, but I
Mhm,
didn't add it to my page.
mm,
So she ended up calling me. texting me, and I have the actual text messages and the proof to prove
Mhm.
it, like I did.
Mhm.
She said, "Hey, I tagged you in those pictures. I know you saw it, but but basically she was saying, I know you saw those pictures I tagged you in, and you didn't
Mhm.
respond. You didn't post it
Mhm.
on your page." And this was
Mhm.
before she went to the police and the hospital to do the kit.
Mhm.
So I was like, okay, so the metadata she erased, she went back in and erased and retract and unsent certain messages. So we couldn't see what was said. Me and the lawyers and Nicole trying to figure out what was said, but she unsent it. So she basically was upset because I didn't post her pictures, I didn't comment on it, and I didn't like them. And that was the very next day.
Right. So
That
I
was the
go.
very next day.
If you have those, if you have those text messages, please send it to.
Oh.
Yes, I
Oh yeah,
completely. Yeah, but I know that we I don't have you long. Farrell. So
Mm.
it's
I
cool.
really
Keep going.
okay.
We can keep
But
going. I
perfect.
got you.
So I really want to ask then, because this was a great question here by Nom de Plume, from the chat. Thank you for asking. It says, do you know what the motive was behind the accusations? Was it money? Was it notoriety? What do you
Oh,
think the motive
Oh yeah,
was behind this?
there was several.
several.
There was
Yeah,
several
it's deep,
motives. It
man.
wasn't just
It's
one.
deep. Yeah, it's
So I had
deep.
to do some digging because I became an investigator in this case. So would you want
Yeah.
to so do you want to go
Top
bypass the
three.
evidence and
Give me
talk about the motive?
give me
That's
top
right.
Alright.
three. We will go into the evidence in a bit.
Alright.
I wanna establish the motive first, and then we
Well,
see.
I
Okay,
I
so okay, let
I
me
had a
start off. Let me
theory.
start
Go
off,
ahead,
Nicole.
Troy.
Let me start off, Nicole, and I'm gonna pass it to you.
Got it.
Okay, remember I said that she offered for me to take her home. Okay, cool. So how would I know where she lives? She had
Mhm.
to tell me, right? So
Mhm.
I took her to the crib. She said, I want to drop this stuff off in the crib, and you can come up. So when she came back down, she was like, "Oh, we can't go up right now. This and that and the third." So I was like, "Okay, I got a spot where we can go," and so we went. Come to
Right.
find out, go ahead, Nicole.
All right, so we was trying to figure out what exactly occurred, and why she would go to the police. Because mind you, she didn't made an official statement not in 2017, but February 2nd of 22. She did two sworn statements in February. I mean, in the year of 22. And so I told Troy, I said, Troy, did she? I asked him, do you know anything about a boyfriend? Did you ever think that she was, you know, was in a relationship with someone else? He said, no. I said, I guarantee it. The girl had a boyfriend. And the reason why she didn't have you go up to her
She
home
was
because
living
the man was at her house. That
Oh,
was
so
happening.
so you think? Oh,
No, so
right.
well,
there.
Okay.
so let
That's
me
one
go
of them.
up a
That's
year.
just one of them.
So let me move
Yeah.
up a year. And so
Yeah.
I happened to have a conversation with the fake victim, aka Dogface Hyena brother. Mind you, what my brother left out was her brother was really good friends with my cousins. We all went to the same school.
Ooh,
Right.
right.
So when I was a senior in high school, her brother was a junior with my cousin.
Right.
So they were very close. Her brother been to my home. And so when my brother was in the 8th grade, my brother and my cousin had a rap group, which her brother was a part of. My cousins kicked him out of the rap group and brought in my brother. So they all know each other very well. So this is not
Yeah.
a matter of strangers. This is not of where we just hooked up that one time and he
Right.
kept going. After she
Right.
made that alleged or that fake um statement, she continued to see my brother because the incident happened in August. She saw him in September, October, and November. Once in August, once in
Back
September,
up. Back
twice.
up. Back up. No, 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 no. We're gonna back up a little bit here.
Okay.
Again,
No,
so she made that statement. Did you
yes.
guys know it was her that was making those statements? Like,
Mind
when
you,
did you guys find this out then? Like, what
mind you,
year? Because I'm trying to find out. The reason why I'm asking this question is because, and I hope I'm not coming across as insensitive here, but
no.
I think it's a bit. I'm trying to look.
Make sense of it.
Yes,
But
because
it doesn't. It won't make sense.
no. I'm trying to make sense of it in the sense that you find out. I'm trying to. I'm because at first we saw you guys. We have already established that you guys had no idea,
Right.
who this who this person was making
Right.
these allegations, why these allegations were going on
Right.
with you, and you went on to see her more and more times. I'm trying to find out, when did you guys actually find out it was actually her? Like, what month,
That was that
year,
following
etc.
Monday. So my brother came back from Vegas that Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we was trying to figure it out that Sunday. And
Okay, I had to charge.
so I went on her Facebook page that Monday, that following Monday. And that's when I scrolled through her Facebook page. I went to the year of August of 2017. That's when I saw the flyer because the affidavit said that she passed out a flyer. That's how we find out who it was.
Okay, so now my question to you is
Mm.
basically, um why did it's my question to you, Troy, is why did you go and see her after you I found out it was her that was basically making
Oh
these
no, you're confused.
allegations? I am very
Okay, so
confused,
you're confused.
please. I'm very
That's
confused.
how, listen. That's how this case is. It's so many layers to it, like Nicole said. I
Right.
never
Please
saw her.
simplify it. Please
Okay, that's what I
let's
was
go back to
trying to
classic
do.
maths. Let's go back to classic maths. Let's deduce it down.
That's what
Let's
I was
simplify
trying to
it.
do. So
Okay,
listen. So listen. Hold on. I'm trying to plug up this my phone so my phone won't go dead. Hold on.
you're fine.
Okay, so in 2017. Okay,
August.
let's start. 2015. She encountered me on Facebook. We was just talking from the whole 2015. 2016, I had probably like 2 conversations with her. Okay. She claimed that I seen her at a party in 2016. So let's fast forward. 2017. Okay, we were still talking on Facebook, chit-chatting here and there. So her birthday is about to come up. August 19th of 2017. So August 19th, 2017 was when we had that consensual fun. Okay, from August, listen very carefully. From
Of 17.
August
Mm-hmm.
19th, 2019, I mean 2017, August 19th, we were having consensual sex from the whole summer, the whole fall, the whole winter until I left to Texas in 2017. I haven't seen her since then.
Right.
And the whole
Right.
time, and listen, let's be clear. The whole time while we were messing around, having this consensual fun, she went to the police on me. And I never knew that she did. I never knew that she did, made these accusations, made these false reports. I never knew any of it. That's why they really dismissed the case. They were like, she was dealing with this guy. He's got text messages from 2015 all the way to 2019. And it shows that she was basically having fun with him from the whole summer, fall, and winter up until he left, and got mad at him when he left,
And
and
let
got
me
mad at
add,
him when he spent time with his son and his baby mother in that same year. So let's be clear. I haven't had no contact with her since 2017, physical contact with her since 2017. Now, I've talked with her in 2018. I had a conversation with her in 2019. That's on Facebook. But it was never any type of physical involvement between me and her since 2017 of what? When we talked about October, November.
17.
Yeah, in
Right. Oh,
2017.
now I
Now do you
understand.
get?
No, I
Yeah,
completely get it. I completely get it now, because now it makes sense why, when this theory was hitting, you were like, who would make this stuff up?
Right.
Because
And
in
mind
2000,
exactly.
you,
right? Because
mind you,
That's
she
what I was trying to say the whole time. Listen. Let's be clear. That anybody that knows me knows that's not in my character. Okay. People that know me know that. And then for that those charges to be so trumped up like that, and for us, me and Nicole, to find out who it is. What did I say, Nicole? When we found out who it is, I said,
Man, you
I
started crying. He was like, "That bitch." You started
not
crying.
only
I can't believe that she
not
would do
only
something like
that,
this.
I
Yeah.
can't believe she would
To
do
do
something
something
like
like this.
this.
Yep. We said, "That bitch, I
That
could not
wasn't
believe
our
you."
relationship.
Yeah.
Right.
And you can go through the text messages, man. Listen, I never cursed at the girl. I never
Not
called her
once.
out her name.
Never asked for a
Every
dirty
text message,
photo.
my lawyer was like, listen, my lawyer hit her so hard in the deposition with my text messages, she got angry. She
Mhm.
became a hostile witness.
Mhm.
My lawyer was like, I hit her with a text message. I said, hey, you seem like a nice girl. You seem like, you're pretty. You get a nice girl and stuff like that. And, but I don't think that we could be together because I see some mental, instabilities and some struggles in your character. And my lawyer hit her with that. So
Mhm.
I can understand you being confused and your viewers probably being confused. Of course it's going to sound mind-boggling because this allegedly happened in 2017 and they're just now pressing charges on you in 2022, and she's saying that,
That's
and you're saying that you've had consensual sex with her. So when did it not? So when did it didn't become consensual? So I get what you're saying.
is the
No, it
timeline.
was
Is literally
always
I was basically trying
yeah.
to reconcile
I
the
get it.
timeline because that's a long
I got
time,
you.
That's a
not,
very long time. And and and
not
and
only
let
for the
me
case.
add, and I'm sorry,
I got
let me add in the affidavit, in the affidavit, in the two affidavits, and even in the deposition that happened in August of 23, she said that she never saw my brother again after the night of the birthday party.
after August
After
19th.
she said,
Exactly.
she told her family, she told everybody, I never saw him again, which
Okay,
was a
In
so
lie.
August of 2017.
Yep.
before we
But
go into
I was dealing with her. I mean, she was saying that she'd never seen me. Okay, just
right,
to make it clear again, she was saying, "Oh, I've never seen him after this alleged incident." She was
which was
telling
August.
people that, "Oh, I haven't seen," but this was years later. This was like a year or two later. She's telling people that, but the whole time they don't even know
Yes,
we
it
was
was
having a situationship the
right.
whole summer, fall, and winter.
Sure did.
And I didn't listen. And again, let's be clear. I never knew that she went to the police and said all of this crazy shit.
The whole time.
I never knew. That's why it was important for me to say that. What did I say, Nicole? Because I was like, I can't believe that she would do something like this to me.
So
And
Nicole was like, hey, people do things that, to tear people down and to be envious and to be, to be
right,
evil.
and I
People are
also
some real live demons out here, bro.
right. And I also said I think one of the motive was you kept her all night. You sent her home with a hickey because the discovery said that she had like a little mark on her neck, and a rug burn on her knee. So she has to go
Her
home and
knee.
explain that to her boyfriend. Her brother
Exactly.
confirmed in January of 23 that she was in a relationship and things did not go well
right.
after she said that
Yep.
she was allegedly offered.
Well, it is very interesting because I am it is very interesting
Yep.
because I am looking at I
The
am doing
deposition. Mhm.
not we're gonna get into the deposition because I do have a little bit more questions to go into that. But to go back to what I was saying, I am looking into false accusations and why it's important for
Mm,
a docuseries I'm the last part of my docuseries that I'm releasing very very soon, and I
mm,
did come across a study that actually shows that a majority of the false accusations that is levied
mm,
against an individual is done so with the motive to if someone is going to fabricate a story, it's usually for an alibi. It's not for revenge. It's not for like revenge is actually the least motivating factor. Like
Yeah.
people still
Yeah. In this
people
case, you're
still
absolutely right. It was an
People still
alibi.
right
Yeah.
because and I'm not surprised that you're now mentioning that it's coming out that it was in regards to her having a boyfriend at the time, and she has to
Hold
now
on.
go.
Wait a minute. So I have a shocker to add to the story because when I was at work, was it last summer, Troy? And you called me and you had our cousin's friend on the phone and he was like, Nicole, listen to what he has to say. You remember that phone call of what
I
happened when
think
she
so,
was in
yeah.
high school? Can you
Oh yeah.
explain that
Oh
story?
yeah. No, I was at the gym. My cousin has a gym out here. Shout out to NDO. He has a gym out here where he mentors young teenagers and stuff. So I was working out with
Athletes.
them.
Yeah.
And at the time, a friend of mine said, "Hey man, remember when we was in high school? I went to Roosevelt." He said, "Remember we was at Roosevelt?" And I know you didn't do it. I know she's lying. I know you didn't do it, but I just wanted to tell you this. And I was like, "What?" He was like, she said that about these two other dudes when we was in high school." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" He was like, "Do you remember A and B?" And I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Man, she lied. She said that they R'd her at this skipping party." I said, "How do you know?" He said, "Bro, I was
Was
there.
there. Yeah.
I was there."
So technically
I was
my
like,
brother is the third person
"What you
she
mean?" I
accused
was like,
of.
"Hold on." Yeah, I was like, "Hold on." I was like, "What you mean you was there?"
It's
He was like,
insane.
"Dude, we had a skipping party, and she
Mhm.
had two guys in the room."
Sure did.
This is
And
insane.
she gave it up easy and went back to school. And her brother started being, "Hey, where the hell you been?" And whoop whoop whoop. And she was like, "Oh, they allegedly R'd me."
Mhm.
Yeah.
And those 2
And
boys
and
was
and
called
he
into
was
the
like,
principal
he was
office.
and he was like, "I was there." He was
Mhm.
like, "None of that took place, bro.
Yep.
None of that took place." He
And those
said, "Actually, man," he said, "actually, they ended up getting, one of them ended up going to jail, and the other one ended up
getting
getting
expelled.
suspended or expelled from school or whatever." And that was
Mhm.
during the case, like right before, like you said, last summer, like last fall, when we got that information. I was like, "Oh my fucking god!" Like I started, man, man. This whole experience has been geared towards me looking at people's mental health more. Uh,
That
uh, uh,
part.
man, I'm like, when I talk to people now, I see certain things that I'm like, okay, I'm gonna end this conversation, or I'm gonna continue this conversation, and this is what it taught me, because I was like, wow, it just dawned on me that I remember hearing something about
Mm.
that. But like I said, they're like a
In high
grade or
school.
two older than me. You know what I'm saying? Like she's like my age, but she was like a grade or two over me because I had flunked the seventh grade, unfortunately. But but, but yeah, we was in the same high school and stuff and classes and stuff together. But yeah, that's crazy, man, because a lot of people want to wrap their heads around it, and they can't seem to. And so when I started breaking it down the timeline, then you're like, oh,
Right.
okay,
Yeah, it makes sense.
oh, okay, I see it.
Yeah, it
Okay,
makes
I see what
absolute
you're
sense.
saying. The
So
timeline is very crucial in this case. Very
right,
crucial. The timeline is most important.
right.
Very important to unravel what's going on here.
Just to go into that source really quickly, it basically says, damn, I sorry, let me just resize that for you so you guys can see.
Oh,
But
no,
basically,
it was great.
no, I'm talking about people online. You
Oh,
guys,
I'm
oh,
so sorry.
okay. So basically, so basically, it's a Vox article that was written in 2015. Actually, it says 78% of
Mhm.
false claims fit the definition of aggravated R word, and it basically asks here, why do people make false accusations? LA study suggests that multiple reasons, includes many accusers. Includes for many accusers is mental health issues is one of them, but the most common
Mm.
issues by far was because they needed an alibi. So
Yeah.
in your case it sorry in this study's case,
Both.
sorry, not not your case, in this study's case, they didn't want to break curfew, so this would most likely be teenagers living with their parents, etc. So they would go out and do all of that, but they would say, "Oh,
Oh, I
this
get what
happened."
you're saying. Right. Yeah.
Right, yeah. So
Yeah.
like some
Makes sense.
reasons, like the article is there, some reasons even included like they were in love with their therapist or so, or something like that, so they made up
Mm,
an allegation to feel sorry for them, etc. So
mm,
Right.
the article is great. Like I'm going to there is more articles that I found, but especially in
mhm,
your case, it was to basically conceal the fact that she had what she was essentially cheating on her boyfriend with you, which is unfortunate because I don't think did she share that information with you that she had a boyfriend. Did she tell you that?
mm.
No, no,
No.
no. It was not. No, it was unbeknownst to me because I never knew that. Like I said, when Nicole is the GOAT, man. Shout out to my sister Nicole. She did some real hardcore investigating.
Right.
She was like, "This is." She had a boyfriend, bro. And then it dawned on me. So you're kind of right in a way because my cousin said,
Mm.
"Listen, cuz I had a girlfriend.
So did. Oh
I was
yeah.
talking with her for a couple days. She just fell off the fucking map.
Mhm.
She comes back now. She's in my living room crying. Oh, I've been R'd. Allegedly, I've been
Mhm.
R'd." And he was like, "Girl, if you don't get the hell out my damn face,
So
not and
I want
listen,
to.
and listen, and not to go against the people that has actually happened to. I sympathize with you guys. Anybody that's been in that type of situation. Let's be clear. That is nothing,
Nothing to play
nothing
with.
right.
Absolutely.
Nothing. That is the worst thing that you could possibly do ever to any human being. To any human being. But lying about it makes
Mm.
it even worse,
Right.
Yeah.
and it makes it bad and even worse for the women
No.
that has
Yeah.
actually happened to, because now you have, and listen, this is another disclaimer or disclosure, whatever you want to call it. That's
Mm.
why these cases aren't being talked about like that, because there's a more higher percentage of false accusations
Yeah.
than there are actual cases.
Let me add to that. Um, I want to add two things. So it's not it's in Troy's case, the police department did their job. They were on it. Unfortunately, the fake victim wasted a lot of resources. Mind you, Gary is not a big city. It doesn't
Right,
have a lot of jobs. There's not a lot of opportunities. But those police staked out his home. They came to his home with canines. They staked
right.
out his house for how many months? About a month or
Month,
two that they
shit, like
staked out his home. So that
August.
right. And so to say that the
Like my
police
person in October.
right. And so for people to say that the police don't believe women, that is not true. Well, not in my brother's case. They was right on it. As soon as that probable cause affidavit went
Yeah,
out, it
right.
was his ass, and they were all over it. They were
So
Yeah.
all over it.
there's a comment here by Num de Plume. She asked another question here saying, so if she was unconscious all night, did the
She
hospital do
wasn't.
a toxicology screen or is
Okay.
and or a CT scan when she went there? So we're gonna go into the
Yeah.
discovery again, but could you please fill in
Okay.
the
First
blanks
of all,
for this question?
okay. All right. All right. I'm going to answer a question. First of all, she was never knocked out,
No.
just to be clear. That was all a lie. She
Mhm.
did take the kit, and there was a toxicology performed. But again, I've never gotten that
The state
from my
never turned it
lawyer, a
over. Yeah.
toxicology report.
The
We
state never
never
took it over.
received a toxicology report from the state of Indiana.
Never received.
Hello,
Right.
state of Indiana, where's the toxicology report?
Where's the photos?
Where's the photos? Hello, state of Indiana, where's the photos?
Let me
I've
add
never
to
received.
that. And this
My lawyer, I don't know if it was from the fiduciary care or whatever, but I've never seen them.
we never
I've
got
asked
them.
her for them. She never presented them to me.
We never got them. So let
So
me also
on
add to that. So let me also add to that. Okay. First of all, if you go into the affidavit and discovery, she talked about, she states in the affidavit how brutal my brother was to her. How he punched her in the face, grabbed her by her hair,
Allegedly, yeah,
right,
yeah.
allegedly choked her out several times. So that means she should
Right.
have bruises to fit that story. Now, just to for your viewers, back in was it 1995, I believe it was, I was attacked. I was brutally attacked. Okay. I had 2 black eyes. My whole
Sorry
face
to hear
was
that.
fractured. My eye sockets was fractured. So I was taken to the, and this is by a complete stranger. I was taken to the hospital, and the 2 people that was there for me was my
Right.
uncle Rob and my brother right there was for me. And for her to say something like that, and let me tell you, I was black and blue for months. For months. And for her to say that in the affidavit, because if you look in the discovery, there was no bruises on her neck besides a hickey. There was no black eyes. There was no bruises on her face. There was nothing
Yeah.
to
And it
indicate
goes and it
that
goes
she
to, and I'm
was
sorry I didn't cut you
violated.
off,
Oh, go
Nicole.
ahead, brother. Go ahead.
So
Yeah.
I,
And it
I
goes to
just
show, just like it's just like my sister said, these women can come forth with these accusations, and they're gonna believe them off top. Yeah, they're gonna
so
believe them off top.
so
With no
going
evidence.
into the
No
report
evidence.
again. So going into the discovery report again, it basically said here that there was a R word kit being
Yes,
being
as it should be.
taken. Uh, 2 swabs were present, and it also said just going down to the good to the really part that really took me up aback a little bit, and it was when I read here. Basically, it said the DNA Okay, so it said item of said kit was found, dried secretion swabs to were present, etc. No,
Mm,
but it says the DNA profile obtained from the sperm fraction of the combined dried secretion swabs interpreted or as originating from 2 individuals. When I read that, that was when I sort of my mind kind of blew because I'm like, okay, from what I've read here,
Ooh,
right, this is yeah, they found
I
sperm.
overlooked that part from 2 people.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it came. Yeah. So it was basically. So they couldn't identify, and on top of that, they couldn't even attribute it to Troy himself. It I, at first I thought, okay, this could have been expired. It's probably a long time. So if it's 5 days old or whatever, it
Right.
wouldn't be as potent as
It's
But
inconclusive. Right.
right, but it turned out that based on a timeline, because this happened on the 19th and then it's 21st, so this is 3 days. So that's not likely. Like you will still get something from that. It's after
That's
it's
what he
five
was
or
saying. That's what you were saying. Like, why would she go back and turn around and have the S word after? That's what you were saying.
right. Yeah,
So
yeah, that as well.
And I bet you that was the boyfriend we talked about earlier.
But that was
Hmm.
the part. So
allegedly,
Hmm.
so so
Hmm.
again, like I said, she had an essay kit. All of the evidence is in storage. There was 2 individuals here. So to me, this is hard, ironclad evidence of someone perpetrating a hoax. Like because clearly within these 3 days, she has definitely had sex with someone else, and you've been through
yeah,
something that is
Wow.
considered to be the most traumatic thing, and you have finding 2 semen you shouldn't really happen. So how did that
right.
happen if you've been beaten up? Again, I'm gonna scroll back up to read what you allegedly did to her. He said, she stated when she woke up, Mr. Charles was having sex with her while she was on her back on the floor. He was on top of her during the time, which time she acknowledged that Mr. Charles penetrated her vaginally. He still had her throat. She stated she was fighting, but Mr. Charles acted like he was. So this girl was not only she would be traumatized by this, like again she was
Oh
spiked,
yeah.
like
Oh yeah.
you know
Definitely.
like she alleges that she had narcotics in her system, like all those things, etc. And then for me, for there to be an extra semen present, that is unfathomable
Wow.
because
Wow.
there should be trauma. Like just forget. Like I like. Did she get raped? Did she get outlawed twice?
Right,
For this to be true, that has to have happened because I can't imagine someone going through this psychologically putting
exactly.
themselves back into having consensual sex with somebody else. I'm not a woman, by the way, so I'm just putting myself as a man. Like if I was violated by a woman that I didn't want to, it would be a while. It would be,
Right. Oh yeah.
like
Oh
even
yeah, yeah,
like so
that would
that's
definitely have some type of trauma effect on a person and would make them want to like, ball up and close up if that, like you said, that nobody wouldn't want to do no sexual acts after being, allegedly beaten, drugged, hit, and all of that stuff that she claimed that I allegedly did to her, which was
right.
all false. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
So I do want to ask you then. I do want to ask you. Um, how do you think that the police could have handled this case any better than they did
Oh
than the way
yeah.
they did?
Oh
Like,
Ooh.
yeah, most definitely.
Hmm.
Listen and listen. That's what I was going to talk about. That's what goes back. The Gary Detective Department, they didn't do a proper investigation at all.
right,
Let's just put that out there. You know, they didn't do a proper
why do you feel like they
investigation
didn't?
at all for me to get those many charges. And see, that what goes back to the system where- and where we need to change certain things because it was almost let's count from 2017 to 2022 days from the statute of limitation. So why did the SVU pick it up and then decide to slap all of those charges on me? Because my lawyer, I was told from my lawyer that yeah, it was almost time for the statute to
Statue.
run out. So they just hit you with the kitchen sink.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
So
how they
I
doing
gotta.
black men.
Okay.
That's
So
how
the
they do
statute
black
was
men
running
in
out.
America.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Okay.
in the state of
Yeah.
Indiana, you have 5 years.
Louisiana. Oh, so this was in Gary.
No, no, no. It's in the
In
state of Indiana, you
Indiana.
have 5 years. There's a 5 year
Yeah,
statute of
Indiana.
limitations for this.
All
For
right.
this. Yeah, so it's five
For
For
years.
this.
them to bring
For the,
charges, for
got
them
you.
to bring charges on me, they would have to have done it in 5 years from the actual statement that was made from that day. So in August 19th of 2017 to August 19th, 2022 was 5 years.
Yeah.
So let's go into because the prosecution has basically withdrew their case now and they're not going in.
Mhm.
They're not taking it to court. There's there could be
Yeah.
so many reasons for that, and but I want to know why you think this. Did they give you before we go into? Did they actually give you a reason for why they're withdrawing and they didn't go forward? Did they say anything?
I'm sorry.
Did they give you a reason for
No.
why they were not pursuing the case?
No, the
Because
state, from what I understand, don't like to withdraw from cases. The
no, they
state
don't.
don't like to be wrong.
No.
So
It's
they're
rare.
not going to be. Let me tell you. The reason why they dismissed this case is because I had exculpatory evidence. Look that up if you don't know what that word means. I
Mhm.
had exculpatory, let me say this so everybody can hear me. Exculpatory evidence.
Okay, 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 my guy, it's fine. Okay, my guy, it's fine.
That's, that's why they dismissed the case, sir.
So what so let me add to that. So um I'm not sure if he has time to talk about how he was
I
able
got a few
to.
more minutes. Go ahead.
Okay,
Go ahead. I got
so
a few more minutes.
yeah, so I want Troy to get into how he had to give money to his neighbor upstairs to go into his apartment, retrieve the phone, go get the phone
Okay.
fixed.
Okay. Okay. So listen, this is what exculpatory evidence is. Exculpatory evidence is so much evidence that the defense can present to the court as to where that the prosecution, the judge, and everybody in the grand jury and in the courtroom agrees to not to go forward. So everybody had to agree to it.
Right.
Everybody.
Everybody,
The
from the
SUV,
top DA
everybody.
to the judge. So this is what exculpatory evidence is. I took her to my cousin's house in the month of what? September?
Of
And it
Right.
shows that of 2017, in September of 2017, again, in 2017 in September, I took her to my cousin's house, and there we had a great time again, consensual sex again. After the other numerous times. So let's fast forward to what she's talking about. Not only did I have the Facebook messages and the affidavit don't line up, I also had a witness. I also had a witness saying, yeah. And she made the she wrote out a statement, had it
statement, took it to the
notarized,
notary.
gave it to my lawyer. So we had exculpatory evidence. So when I say exculpatory evidence, this is what I mean. When we found out who it was, I immediately started thinking, wait a minute, I got messages in my phone.
Mhm.
Nicole is like, where the fuck is your phone? I said, it's broken, but I still got it, sis. I still got it. She's like, you need to get that phone. Mind
Right.
you, this was
Yeah.
after August
Yeah.
19th. Listen. The police, the U.S. Marshals, they stormed my grandmother's house where my
Yep.
cousin lived.
Almost broke down the
They
door.
stormed everywhere looking
Mhm.
for me,
Mhm.
looking for me. So I
Mhm.
laid low. I said, I'm not turning myself in. They're going to have to come find me. They're going to have to waste their fucking taxpayers' dollars for this bullshit and come find me. So my phone was at my house. I was at a friend of mine's house laying low.
Mhm.
I told her to get with my neighbor upstairs, which I talked to about earlier, where they
Mhm.
was harassing her. So I was
Mhm.
like, yo, I called her and said, hey, I need you to get something that's going to save my ass. She was like,
Mhm.
what? I said, I need my phone. And this was like, mind you, 3 weeks after the charges came out. So this
Yep.
had to been the beginning of September
Yes.
of
Yep. Yep.
2022.
Yep.
This
Right.
was the beginning of September 2022. So I
Mhm.
was like, I need that phone. So
Mhm.
she's like, all right, I got it. So I sent my girl, I said, listen, I'll pay you.
Mhm.
I'll cash out. Go get that phone.
Yep.
She's going to
Mhm.
have my keys to my back door. And this is how I got it. She
Mhm.
said, cool. I said, meet her at the gas station. You go home down the street, act like you going home, go into your back door like you always usually go home, chill out because the police is watching my house.
Mhm.
Go back downstairs from your back door, go into my back door of my house, the basement door, and go up in my kitchen, look in this first drawer right there and grab this phone. You won't
Mhm.
have no problems seeing it. You won't miss it. She was like,
Mhm.
I got you, bro.
Mhm.
She was on some dun 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 dun. I'm like, thank you. She said, yo, I got the phone for you. She
So
was like,
did.
yeah, the police is sitting down the street. I got it. I'm in. She's like, text, yo, I'm in. I'm in. Like Mission Impossible. Like,
Possible,
I'm
yeah.
in, bro. I got you. So she
Mhm.
went and got the phone. It was broke. This was, like I said, a month after the charges came out. I'm laying low. I haven't gotten the full package of the evidence, the nucleus of what I needed. So she went in
Right.
there and got it. So my friend came back. She got the phone from me. She met back up with her at the gas station, gave her my phone. Cool. I went and told her, I said, hey, look, you got my money on you still, right? She had my card. Go to the mall and get the phone fixed. She went to the mall, got the phone fixed, came back home. What I said, and with Nicole, I called Nicole on the phone. I said, hey, I got the
Yeah.
phone. She said, open that
No,
mug
hold
up.
on. Wait. We was
Open it up.
already
Go straight to your face.
no, we was actually already
Yeah.
on the
Yeah. I
phone
went
when your friend
on the
walked in
phone.
the
Right.
door. He said, "I got the phone in my
Okay. Okay.
hand."
That's cool. So let me hurry up or something. Let me get this out quick because I got to go in a few. So I opened up the phone, and guess what? To my surprise, what was the first thing on the phone? The first thing on the phone was all of the text messages and everything from Facebook that she had sent to me from 2015 all the way up to 2019.
So did.
Pictures, text messages,
So was.
I
an alleged pregnancy test
um
in the year of 2017.
If you're looking for, if you watch the Deb v. Heard trial and you heard Dr. not Dr. Medium, not Dr. Brian Neumeister, who was Depp's expert witness. I'm not sure if you've heard of it,
Yes,
but
yes.
he was testifying to this. He was basically saying, and I'm glad you kind of brought all of that out, because he was basically going through the importance of saving the original devices. If you want to keep evidence,
Oh
the
yeah.
original, the OG
Saved his
Oh
device,
yeah.
ass. Yeah.
you need to save it. So it's
Save
actually,
everything.
so your friend advised you, even having the wherewithal to basically say, no, we need that phone, we need this one, because you
Oh,
clearly had another phone. You could have decided, hey, I'm gonna go into this phone and try and retrieve it from here, no, going into that
I
phone.
couldn't. I couldn't. And listen, that's good that you said that, because Nicole, remember, I couldn't. I couldn't
No.
access the Facebook stuff from my phone. So I had to
Right.
get the original phone.
Original phone.
I
Yep.
had to get the original phone and go back into it. And mind you, it was broke. And I was like, I'm gonna throw this phone away, man. Fuck it, I'm gonna throw this phone away. And never got around to throwing it away. It
Oof.
sat there right in my drawer that whole time for
It's
that
funny.
5 years
purpose.
later. 5 years
It's
later.
funny. It's funny because
5 years
he said,
later.
it's funny because he said the exact same thing. Don't throw your, don't do that.
Oh,
Keep them all.
What?
But
what's his
but
name? What's his name? You said?
Brian Neumeister, he was Depp's
Brian,
expert.
shout out to you, man. You're absolutely right, Brian. Never throw anything away, Brian.
Yo,
And all of you
I
viewers,
love this guy.
listeners,
He's
hey,
smart.
never throw any of your devices away. I don't care if it's an old Mac. Listen, my auntie passed away. I got her old walkie-talkies, her old cameras, her
Yep.
old blue, what they call
Well,
those reels, the blackouts. I got all of them,
right.
and I'm keeping them.
Yep.
Nom de Plume is your biggest fan, Nicole. She says she's a super sleuth. Thank you.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah. So
absolutely.
um,
Absolutely.
Listen, listen. Let me tell you. Listen, Nicole not only came up with what she gave me the idea of the phone, because she was like, "Do you have any old messages from her?" I said, "Yeah, I got my phone." So she also came up with the idea of who it was, what I needed. Absolutely off top what I needed. And so as we were going through my phone, like I said, I just got it fixed. I opened it up. That I seen looking at all the avenues. As we were going through the text messages, Nicole was like, it sounded like you went and picked her up. I was like, yeah, I took her over, you know, our
Mhm,
cousin's house. I can't say her name.
mhm.
Our cousin's house. She was like, oh yeah. I said, yeah. She said, have her write a statement. Go get it notarized. Nicole is the GOAT. If y'all want her to work on your case, it's gonna be a nice little flat fee. She
so
gonna take care of
okay.
you.
Let's switch gears a little bit.
No,
Let's switch gears a little bit because let's
yeah.
switch gears a little bit because I you don't have long left, and I
Okay.
really want to
Yeah.
get as much as possible from you, because
Yeah.
the case was dismissed on the 7th of
Yeah.
February
Yes, it was.
2024, this year.
You
This year,
should
so
have
it's
been
just
it. Yeah,
literally a few
should have
months
been
ago.
it.
The deposition happened, I believe it was at this. Mm,
August of 23.
thank you so much. Thank you for that.
No, September.
It
Oh, was
It
it
was in
September,
September?
was it September? September.
Oh no, I'm
Well,
sorry, October of 2023.
right.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't October.
So
It
when I was
was
asking
in October.
around
I'm
when
sorry,
I
it's
was
August.
no, you're fine. August, September, we'll agree to disagree. This is probably a good one to
Yeah,
agree to disagree, but
somewhere around there. Somewhere around
somewhere
there.
around
Yeah,
there. So when I was asking around to basically try and understand, you know, what happens during this depositions, building together the case before it goes to trial, from the lawyers that I know, they were basically saying, one of them was
right.
basically saying that usually before the case before a case goes to dismiss, it's not even the evidence that they put out, it's not even the evidence that they have, all those things, is the deposition, because
Yeah,
unless there is a massive
right,
departure from their original statement, it usually
right.
goes ahead, because they want to, as you said, they don't want to withdraw, they really want to go
Right.
ahead
Oh
I
no,
want.
and
they
take
were trying to
their
trying
luck.
to close the casket on me, bro.
So
Right.
let's so let's go back to getting a lawyer the cost of a lawyer. Don't forget that.
We will get to that. We'll get
And
to
the
that.
bail,
Don't.
but I think Troy only got a few minutes left because that's the crux of it.
Okay, guys,
Because
I
a
got
lot
about
of
like a
people,
15, I got like a 15, 20-minute window.
okay, because
Okay.
Yeah.
a lot of people who don't, and this is, and let me go back a little bit. This is what actually helped him having a good criminal defense lawyer. His lawyer was
Yeah.
voted one of the best
Also,
lawyers in
yeah.
Northwest Indiana and Chicago. And it's not cheap. Most people plead out, they plead a deal because they
Yeah.
don't have $20,000 cash for a lawyer. They don't have another $20,000 for bail, which they won't
Yeah.
Right.
cash.
So
That
so
goes
so
back
Okay.
to, and that,
so
I'm sorry, go ahead.
did they offer you any type of deal to
No.
have this case, not go
No,
ahead?
and that was the funny thing
Surprisingly.
about it. We talked about that. They never came to my lawyer and said, because okay, so I was going to court. Mind you, my lawyer had other cases in front of me, so I was getting pushed back. So as I was going to court, she was like, "Oh, we're gonna come back to this and come back to this." So my lawyer never said, "Hey, they offered you a plea," or the
Right.
judge never said, "Take that plea," or the prosecutor never said, "Hey, we want to try
Mhm.
to go forward with the plea to see if and we'll talk back
Mhm.
and we'll come back and reconvene." So that was never discussed. So they
Right.
probably had doubt also. They probably had doubt also.
Mm.
But
Yeah,
I
and
mean, I'm not a prosecutor. I'm not a lawyer, so I can't talk for them. But going over the affidavits, I
mm,
mean, like my cousin, he's a gym instructor. He was like, I would never ever believe any of this mess. And it goes back to
That
what I was
uh,
saying. He was like, I
like
can't believe that the state would even go forward with this. And so
did,
now I'm in a position where that stuff is on my criminal background. So if I'm trying to get a job, I can't work. If I'm
mhm,
all of my friends think I'm guilty, people that don't know you, people that know you, they're like, oh, so my reputation is ruined. Northwest Indiana Times threw me under the bus. Never said allegedly. All of these things add into why. Okay, now I'm in a position where I can't make money. Now I'm in a position where my kids are suffering. Now I'm in a position where I can't pay my rent. Now I'm in a position where I can't pay my light bill, my gas bill, and heat and stuff like that. Now I'm in a position where my son is 12 years old. He needs school clothes and shirts and shoes and stuff. I can't provide for him. And that's what Nicole was basically talking about. People in my situation don't have that type of money. Thank
mhm,
God that my sister came through with and spent her whole life savings to keep me
mhm.
out of jail because she know I didn't do it.
Yep,
She believed in me. She know I didn't do this. She helped me with my case tremendously.
yep.
so
And if it wasn't for her, I probably would probably be in jail. But
Yeah.
that's the
so
point that she's trying to get to. And before I get off of here, man, that economical impacted us, me, her, my kids. It devastated me, man. I got
Financially.
evicted.
Yep.
I got evicted. My kids started acting crazy in school because now the trauma. Now there's the trauma from seeing my dad on in the news or on newspapers and article clips. Now here's the trauma that comes with the false allegations. And I had an argument with my daughter that broke my heart. And now you got people saying things and people
Mhm.
thinking things otherwise. So not only is my economical situation, it's my manhood is at stake and is at risk, and I'm receiving death threats, and I'm receiving calls from people that I never ever received calls from, numbers I'm looking at on my phone that I've never ever seen in my life. My sister had to Amazon me a camera
The
to
security
put in
camera.
my front yard, just
Mm,
in case this person that said all of these lies, old dog face hyena, which she calls her, is not
mhm,
having some goons coming by to knock me out the box, or her
yeah,
brother, or anybody. Is anybody could now I got to watch over my shoulders because people think
mm.
I'm this guy. You know,
This monster.
people
Mhm,
this
say
is it was 2 years of agony, mental anguish, pain, mentally and physically. Man, I went through. Man, my drug habit kicked up 1,000 notch. Alcohol, drugs, doing drugs, everything kicked up 1,000 for me to try to take my mind off of things, man. So yeah, it's very. it's devastating, man. That took a whole toll economically, really economically, man. I can't even provide for my kids. They're looking at me like, yo, what's up? I'm trying to
People,
get a job. I sent my lawyer my the jobs that I was trying to get, and they would email me, we're gonna go to the next candidate. I'm sorry, I apologize. I sent her like 3, 4 emails with 3 different jobs that I applied to. She called me and said, hey, I'm sorry that you have to go through this, but I'm afraid it's on your background. And I was like, are you serious? She was like, yeah, it's when you pull up your name, it's gonna come up. Hey, cat, it's gonna pull up that you that you were up to go to court for these crimes, that you have these charges. And unfortunately, there's 15, close to 16 charges. So what company is going to hire you? You're a liability to them. So
that's just,
I suffered, man, economically bad, man. You know.
Mm.
I am, I
Yeah, and then
am.
I'm a producer. And I'm an engineer, a producer. I'm a crane operator. I do environmental work. I was out there in DC doing environmental work. How can I come back from that?
Right.
And hey, shouts out to you too, man. I appreciate this platform, for me to tell this story and to talk about it, because this is the only way I feel as though that I can come back from it, is to tell the story and tell my side, and to bring at least a little justice to my name again, you know.
Well,
Mm.
I appreciate you for being so candid and sharing, because people like to
Oh
say
yeah.
that false accusations do not ruin lives or anything like that. This is the perfect quintessential example of the toll that
Oh
someone
yes,
has
it
to
does.
live after going through a false accusation, because there's an economic loss, there's a
Oh
psychological
yes, it
loss,
does.
and
It
it and
definitely does.
yeah, and on top of that, again, there is a comment here that basically Nom de Plume basically wrote saying, can you apply to for your record to be expunged? Did you explore those ways with your legal team,
Legal thing.
defense team? Like
Mhm.
did your lawyer bring up that option for you, like that they
Okay,
that
good question.
can be expunged?
Who asked that question?
Nom de Plume, she's been really
Um,
Okay,
angry.
who asked it? Okay, so first of all, who asked that question? What's their name?
I have no idea. Is their username is Nom de Plume, so they just basically say, can you apply for your record to be expunged?
Okay, Nam de Plume. Okay, okay, Nam de Plume. Very good question. Very good question. Okay, so there's this thing that's being, your case can be dismissed with or without prejudice. Okay, first of all, so my case was dismissed. And this is another thing. They just passed a law. My lawyer said when they dismissed my case, the charges were expunged. That's something that they just started, I think, within the past year or two, I think. I'm not sure, but I didn't look it up. But she said, yeah, they passed the law that when your case in the state of Indiana now, when your case are being dismissed, they automatically expunge the charges. And I had an ex parte on me, so protective order, so they expunged all of it. They canceled all of it and the future upcoming court dates. So yeah, good question.
That's amazing, because at least now you can, at least after these charges are now clear, you
Yeah,
can at least now continue to apply for jobs, continue to, like, try and
yeah.
rebuild what's left of your long life, God willing, on earth. So
Oh yeah.
I wanna ask you, because you don't have long left, and
right, right.
it's this question. I don't know how you're gonna take it, but I want to ask: Do you feel like by the police, sorry, not police, sorry, by the prosecution not choosing to pursue this case further, do you think that has
Mm.
brought you some kind of closure in all of this? Like,
Oh man, good
Mhm.
question. Oh wow, that was so. You know what? You was right on time with that, man. Because as I before I step back, I want to say this: people was congratulating me. Hey, congratulations,
Right.
congratulations. Hey, man, congratulations. And I'm sitting there like, thanks. But
Hmm.
in the back of my mind, I'm like, you think this is a celebratory moment? Do
Exactly.
you actually think that I'm celebrating over here? Yeah, okay.
Right.
I am not celebrating and I am not happy at all about
Mhm.
what I'm happy about the outcome, okay. But of course, but me having to go through this,
Mhm.
knowing that I didn't do it,
Mhm.
knowing that that she lied, knowing that she had a boyfriend, mental issues, the detectives didn't do their proper work, the prosecutors trying to nail me, my lawyer's probably not doing the fiduciary care that I mean, like it's all of that, and then I'm supposed to be like, yeah, man. Count your blessings. Pat yourself on the back. You did a good job. First of all, my sister helped me, and then I had people, and they know who they are, help me financially or had my back with good words of wisdom or contacted me, never said congratulations. They was like, man, and that's how I feel. To answer your question, no, I am not satisfied or happy. You know, just like my life was altered and changed, not completely ruined, but almost. I want, and anybody would probably feel this way. Her to feel the same type of deconstruction and of chaos and everything that I felt.
Have you be arrested again after the
Oh
charges were
yeah,
oh,
after
dropped?
the
okay.
charges,
Wait. You can't just
He
drop
on
that. Wait,
wait.
1 second. Wait
He
1 second. You can't
he
just drop
only
it
has
like
a
it's
few
hot.
minutes.
You didn't
He
tell
only
me
have
this. No, you didn't tell me. Wait, he was arrested again. Wait, what?
no,
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 no, no,
no.
no,
She
no,
tried. She
He
tried.
no. After the charges were dismissed, she went back to the prosecutor and
Yes.
said, "Hey, he's
Mhm.
harassing me and my
Yep.
brother."
Yep. Mhm.
So
My
she didn't even
lawyer
leave.
called me
Wait.
like
This is
4 or
this
5
year,
days
by the way.
later
This is
after the
this year.
dismissal.
Yes. That was a month ago. A month ago.
You
Hmm.
can't
This
just
is
drop these
listen,
things.
they
You gotta
dropped the
just say next
charges.
week
They
is
dropped the
something,
charges
man.
in February. Yeah, they dropped the charges February 10th or February 12th, somewhere up in there.
Somewhere like that.
February 18th, 16th, I was getting a phone call. February
Mhm.
18th, I got a phone call from my lawyer saying, "Hey, they're trying to come and get you again on a level 6." I was like, "A level 6? What the
Mhm.
hell? What are you talking about?" She was like,
Mhm.
"Yeah, you've been contacting that girl. She said that you've been calling her, like you've been Facebook messaging her, saying that you're gonna do this and that. Talking about some you tried to do me like R. Kelly, you Cosby," was her exact words. Yeah, you tried
Yep.
to do me like R. Kelly and Bill Cosby. You know, I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? My lawyer was like, yeah, have you contacted the girl? I told her, I said, yeah. I went in her inbox and I said, hey, I know that you got the dismissal and I think that I deserve an apology.
Mhm.
That's
Right.
all I said. I
And
texted her brother.
then
I said, hey, you slandered my name. I said, hey, you slandered my name. I
Mhm.
think I deserve an apology. I
Mhm.
was in my feelings, when I said that,
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
what type of a fucking apology are they gonna give me?
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm trying to say?
yep.
So she
Mhm.
took that and said, "Hey, this guy's harassing me. He's going trying to kill me. He said that he's gonna do this and do that." And I told my lawyer, I told my lawyer exactly what was said, and I sent her what was said, and I showed her everything. So she was like,
Mhm.
"Oh, don't worry about it." But she was like, "Hey, let me tell you something. That girl just tried to ruin your life. What type of damn apology do you want from her?"
Mhm.
And I was like, you know what? I sat and thought about that. I was like, you know what,
Mhm. Mhm.
attorney, attorney
Mhm.
M, you're right.
You had a
She's
good
like
attorney
just a
there
Lady
because
M,
N-word.
yeah. Lady
uh,
M. Mm-hmm.
She said,
So
"You're
now,
nothing but." She said, "You're nothing but an N-word to these
Mm-hmm.
people.
Yep.
They will try and lock you up." She was like, "Fortunately, you're not that guy. Fortunately, they know that she's lying. But
Right.
hey, don't say nothing to her. You're
Yeah.
not gonna get no apology from her."
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I went and I said, "Hey, I think that was all." I sent what I sent to those people, to Nicole and to my lawyer as well, to prove my side of the story, that I'm not harassing anybody. And yeah, she was like, "Yeah, they're gonna try to bring you in for harassment." Yeah,
And
she tried to get
also,
me locked up again.
and also the DA, also the DA requested that the lawyer sends him the deposition. And this is what I
right,
told my brother. I said that deposition was so damning against
Right.
her. That
Oh
that that
yeah.
deposition was so bad. You gonna tell
They
me
don't gonna
as an
believe a
R
word she
victim,
said.
she was like, "Hurry up. Are you still feeding me? Are you still feeding me more questions? I'm ready to go. I'm done.
Yeah, it was
right.
horrific.
I wanted to.
Come on."
Okay, I don't have long.
Y'all got
I mean, yeah, I don't have long left with you, but I really want to because you kept mentioning the system, you kept mentioning the police, etc. I really want to dig in on this. Um,
okay.
the fact that they only because it's did they ask you for a statement, or was it just
Not at
Yeah,
all.
just they didn't ask?
yeah,
I
they,
think
they did. Yeah, they,
they did
they
ask you
did. The
for a statement.
detectives wanted me to come in to give an initial statement. I refused. Never,
Now,
After
ever talk.
now, Now, I didn't know you refused, but the
Yeah,
people, the lawyers I was speaking to that deals with false accusations all the time actually did say it's actually a very smart thing to actually refuse to give a statement initially. So you refusing, I mean, I was just going by the affidavit and all the detail of the case. You didn't give a statement, so I told that to him. I said nope, he didn't give a statement, but and he said yeah, that was smart. So
hell yeah.
that was like, so kudos to you
also,
for not,
yeah, also, yeah, exactly. And
because
that's
they would have
exactly
lynched.
what I told
I'm
him.
guessing they would have
Yeah,
lynched you from your
right.
Oh no,
own state.
they would have murdered me on the
Exactly.
stand. They would have tried to murder me on the stand. Listen, this is the all of anybody who gets in trouble. Never, ever, 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 ever talk to the police. Never. That's how
And
my
It's so
mind
cousin got.
funny. It's so funny how that's a recurring theme
Never talk to
in all
the
this. It's like,
never talk to,
police.
never talk
and
to the
mind you,
police.
Hines, my brother's the second family member within a few years of being falsely
Yeah,
accused.
being
Uh,
falsely accused, man.
right. Okay.
Yeah, it's
So
happening every day. It's happening every day, man. It's happening every day, and nobody's talking about it, man. And we need to talk about it more, man. Hopefully we can see some change, come about. But it's happening all over the country, man. It's happening everywhere. What's
All
that
over the
guy?
world.
What's the guy in Saudi Arabia? I mean, what's his name? Uh, the guy that you told me about, Nicole.
Which one? It's a bunch of cases.
The guy that
TT.
works out and stuff like that. He's online. He works out.
Oh, Jonathan Majors.
He got
I think
falsely
Jonathan
accused.
Majors. Yeah, Jonathan Majors. I
You talking
forgot
about
No,
his
is that
name.
no, the guy,
Andrew Tate?
the bald head guy,
Andrew Tate,
Andrew Tate,
who just got arrested again on Monday.
Andrew
He's
Tate.
got arrested again. Well,
Mhm.
I mean, I'm not really. I mean, people know I'm
Yeah.
not really a big fan of Andrew Tate here, but his case is very convoluted. I am
Well,
going to
well,
cover that.
well, 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 I
Not
said
really.
that. I listen. Well, I said that to say that he also said that those were false allegations. I was just bringing up somebody, just that's just a little one minute,
Yeah, yeah.
piece of hay in a
It's a
haystack.
what was
There,
it called?
there's several, there's hundreds
Right,
of false accusations out there.
right, right. So
Time.
before you go, I really want to hone in on this idea that is really dangerous for people don't to not sweep this case under the rug. Because, and I really want to like, how are you, how are you taking care of your mental health or your psychological
Wow.
health
Oh
in
man,
all
I
of
Wow.
this?
just got,
Because there
yeah, I
is
just
like, are you seeing a
got,
therapist? What's going on? What's going on?
yes, yes, I'm seeing a therapist right now. Exactly. Yeah. I see a therapist twice a week now.
just to yeah, just to, like, and how is
Well,
that going? Like,
yeah,
what was the driver for you to go and see the therapist? Like what was going on that would that spurred you to make that decision to say, you know what, I need to go see a therapist? Because
yeah.
most people do not do that. Most people
Okay.
might decide to pick up a hammer and go smash the person's head in and get into more
Oh,
trouble. So why did you make that choice?
Mm.
listen.
I'm not endorsing violence, by the way. Don't do that. Don't do
No,
that. Don't do
no,
that. I just
no,
want to say that.
no. I definitely won't do that. Never. I would never do that. But listen, um, that's a good question. It was when I got the dismissal, and it was when I sent the text messages saying, "Hey, I think I
Mm.
deserve an apology." And I
Mm.
said it verbatim, just to be fair. I think I deserve an apology. And when I got that call from my lawyer, that was when I was like, yo, I need to get some fucking therapy, bro. I was like, I need to get, because like at this point in time, I'm looking for an apology from a person that tried to put me away for life. What the fuck am I thinking about? What the
Mm.
hell am I doing? Like what am I really doing? Like seriously? Like that was when, good question. That was when I made that decision to get a therapist. I was like, yo, I'm
Mm.
freaking losing my mind. I gotta be, because I'm trying to get an apology from an
Mm.
apology from a person that lied to the police, lied to the prosecution, lied to her family members, lied to everybody. And I'm trying to get an apology from her.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, what
Mm.
am I at mentally? So yeah, yeah,
S-
yeah. That
just to
was
go
when.
back to the just to go back to the chat, TTG, I believe they're new here. So welcome to the stream for the first time. First time seeing you here. So it says they say you drugged her. So yes, they did say that. And like I said
That's what she
earlier,
said.
that's what
Allegedly.
she
That's what
that's
she
what
said.
she was claiming allegedly. Um, I'm going to put all the
Right.
documents redacted, so you're not gonna get the name of the person, etc. But I will put it on my site, drheinz.info. Do go check that out, and you can, like, the information will be there. So if you wanna even direct people to go and say,
And,
look, it's
and let me
clear now, you can go and check it out here, like blah blah, because end of the day, the truth the truth of your case has to not only come out, but it has to because I've been through it myself, in terms of, except mine didn't go as far as you did, so I'm really fortunate
Mm.
in that respect. But I know what it's like to always have to defend yourself and over explain, and,
oh
like,
yeah,
just
oh
basically
yeah,
feel like you always have to justify every single thing that you do. So
right,
yeah, so
right.
yeah, but in regards, going back to earlier, what I
And I'm gonna
said.
say this.
Go on. Sorry, go on.
Mm.
No, because I gotta go. I have to. I got some things I gotta do. That's really
Okay.
important. But I just want to say this. That part where you said about the therapist, and when did I
Mhm.
decide to do all that, and how, and I didn't. Okay, and I knew that you went through going through some
Mm.
of your things before we even did the show, and I know that affected you also. It does that, man, to us, man, and in my situation, um, it's different, but it's still in that classification where the false narrative was painted about me, and certain people believed it, and that's what caused an economic and mental anguish upon my kids and myself. Like I was a victim,
Right.
but my kids
Right.
really were the biggest victim
Right.
in this, and they suffered mentally and physically and economically, socially, environmentally, governmentally, everything that you can possibly think of under
Mm.
that umbrella, you know. So I was, saying like
Get down,
if
baby.
possible, if people can reach out so I can put out some more content and I can be able to put out more content, could you please donate to my GoFundMe? My
Oh, yeah, I didn't know
GoFundMe
you had
is
a girl
very
from me.
important.
I
Yes,
I
I
didn't
have a
know that you had that.
GoFundMe. And
Yeah, send Nick, if you can, through the chat, so that I can let people know as
yes,
well that you had
yes,
that you do have it. I
please,
did not know that you had it.
please,
So
so I can be able,
right,
yes,
so
yes.
Nom de Plume
Please contribute to my GoFundMe. It'll help me. It'll help me. Go ahead.
Oh, no, so yeah, just to go back to that. Once I get the link for the GoFundMe, I will definitely put it into the chat
Thank you.
and in the description so that people
Yeah,
can go and
that's very important because, hey, because I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I think we're
no, you're
probably
fine.
getting a little delay from
You're fine.
from
Mhm.
how far you are away from here. You're in London, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's nighttime here now.
Or
It's good to
Mhm.
see sunlight on on your end. Go ahead.
right? No, but I just wanted to say like that's very important because like I said, I've suffered mentally and economically and socially, but I want to be able, like you said, and I want to be able to keep talking about this and put out more content
You need
and
to.
and
Yes.
to be able to tell this story and to open up, about this and what's going on, not just here in America but all over the country. And I think that it's very important that we have this conversation. So more content you'll be seeing and hearing from me more after today, because this was the start of the campaign. So if you guys
Mhm.
could please, I beg of you, please, like, could you please donate to a very, very, very worthy cause? Because I'll
Okay.
definitely put it towards a very, very, very worthy cause, like as far as my kids, and putting it towards new content, so that you guys can hear more and see more of me.
Yeah. And
Oh,
what I think what a lot of people have to do, that people have to know that he was a very active father in his children's
Yeah,
life.
yeah,
His
all
his
the
his
time. My
his
kids pay
youngest
for it.
daughter
Oh,
was
yeah.
staying with him full time before he was evicted. Because I
At
was
the
paying,
time.
yeah, because I was paying my rent and half of his rent. And for
Yeah,
those who live in the DMV area, know the rent out here is very expensive. So I can only
yeah.
do so much. And
Yeah, my
so a
sister
lot
was
of
helping
people,
me out. My sister was helping me pay my rent and other bills, and I got another friend of mine that was kind of helping me. But after a while, hey, it takes a toll on people, man, economically. After a
right.
while, you can't just get like, hey, man, let me borrow a couple thousand, or let me borrow $100, or not even
right,
$10 or $20. After a while, because it's been going on for what, 2 years now. It's
right,
it's it's it's, it's hard, man.
yeah,
And
So
like my kids, like she said, my kids was impacted the most. Like she said, I'm very active in my kids' life,
very
my
much.
son and my daughters. And listen, at the time that this happened,
mhm,
months before that, I was going to Indianapolis every weekend. My
Yeah,
daughter was diagnosed with MS.
yeah.
oh, I'm so sorry, man. I'm so sorry, man.
My
Uh,
daughter was diagnosed with MS. And
I'm so sorry, man.
and at the time that that happened, and those felonious charges came about, I couldn't leave, you know, and I couldn't see
Right.
her. My daughter is lives in Indianapolis, which is an hour and 45 minutes away, and I wasn't able to see her because I was taking her to her treatments, and for her to see a doctor and things like that, and that altered everything, and it changed, me seeing her, and it changed her seeing me in that type of situation and being in that situation. So it hurted us all. But luckily, she's doing a little bit better now,
Yeah,
and I'm still, fighting it with her. I'm still in the fight with her,
yeah.
you know. But this is it was very, very humbling experience, and it shows me who your real friends and family are.
Yeah.
And it
Oh,
shows you when you're in a situation, like as far as me and my story, like my kids suffered, man. They suffered,
Yeah.
man, bad, man. You know. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to, I'm just like, yo, like this is really bad. That you have people out here that will do this deliberately to people. But yo,
I
with that being said, I again I thank you for bringing me on, and I thank my sister again. I thank her all the times. Thank you, sis. Mwah, I love
Mwah,
you.
mwah, 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 mwah.
Um,
I love you too.
and thank you, man, all of your viewers and all of the people. And hey, if they watch this later, or if the viewers that I had from my Facebook, I want to send a shout out to y'all. Thanks for tuning in, and thank you for the questions. And I was happy and I was glad to get that out there and to share my story with y'all and my experience with you guys. You know, like I said, hey, you can find me on Facebook or Instagram at Tension, Mr. Goddammit on Instagram. That's Tension, TENSION, and Mr. MRGOTDAMITT. And you can find me on Facebook, Pharoah Charles. That's PHAROAH, Charles CHARLES, or Pharoah, Mr. Goddammit on Facebook. And if you guys want to, like I said, help me out and donate for a worthy cause, so I can put out more content and talk to you guys, then my sister, she'll have that GoFundMe up, so we can get something started and get a movement going, man. And I want to advocate for all of the false accusations of men and brothers. And it's not about race, it's not about gender, it's not about any of that. No one likes to be lied to or lied on.
Yeah.
No one. It doesn't matter what race you are. It doesn't matter what gender. Let's get off of that, and let's just talk about
Look at the facts.
being. It
Absolutely.
is what it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is what it is. Nobody, no matter who you are or what you claim to be, no one likes to be lied on and have their lives devastated, altered, and full of chaos. And I gotta watch over my shoulder, and I gotta watch over my kids because I'm feeling like somebody's gonna do something to us because I've been a label,
Mhm.
because of these false accusations. And that changed my life, man. It changed me and my kids' life, man. Devastated us, man. It really did.
I did.
But with that being said, man, like again, I said I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for everybody. Thank you.
No
You're
worries.
so welcome. I'll call you later. I'll call you later.
Thank you
Okay,
for
that's fine.
thank you
Go
for
ahead.
tuning in. No, thank you so much for giving us the time of day to actually speak about all of this, because again, like I said, it is very to see your example. And a lot of people always say the same thing: false accusations don't ruin lives, then they're few in number. No, the truth is,
That's because they
again,
never went through it.
they
Hello, you never been through it. You've never been
right.
through it. Hello, so you wouldn't know. Not you, but those people that think false false accusations don't warrant. Oh, yes, they do. Oh, that's very
Right.
damning. Very damning.
Right.
Very. The Northwest Indiana Times that put those articles out. Guess what? Guess what? They didn't print an article saying that I was innocent. They
Mm.
didn't print the article saying that the charges were dismissed.
Right.
Mm. Mm.
They
Right. Which
printed
is
the
which is
they
very
printed the art. They ran an editorial that I was guilty. They ran
Mhm.
an editorial that I was arrested.
Mhm.
Don't
right.
tell me, and I'm not talking to you, but don't tell me what false accusations do or don't do to a person.
Yeah.
We went through that in school, in elementary. Oh, he took my pencil, or he took my crayon, or he did. Come on now, you get in trouble for that. You got in trouble for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I sympathize with and I think a lot of people here they say the same thing. Like Nom de Plume, who has been commenting a lot, says Troy Nicole stay strong.
Thank
whi-
you.
which I
Thank you.
think is
Thank you.
very important for you guys to do right now. It is to
Thank you.
literally stay strong, because in all fair, like, no one wants to go through this. No one deserves to go through this, no matter what.
Right.
Um, and I do feel like in today's climate, a lot of people are more or less, I wouldn't say incentivized directly, but
Yeah.
indirectly, because of the behaviors continuing to basically not be punishable. Because let's be honest, nothing has actually followed up with your accuser. Nothing has actually happened with her. Like, it's gone basically. So that's
Hmm.
what we're living in. So when you look at those
Well, well, well,
indirect,
well,
it's
let's not. Well,
normalizing it.
let's not jump the gun. Well, let's not jump the gun. All I'm going to say to that is, stay tuned.
Hmm.
Oh, Mr.
Stay
Mr.
tuned.
Mr. Troy, I'm going to call dibs, and I'm gonna whatever you're planning, come back
Mhm.
here and reveal it to. I'm gonna call dibs. I'm gonna call dibs.
You'll be the first. You'll
Thank
be
you
the
so
first to
much.
know.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, but yeah. So, but can you give us like a little sneak peek though? Like, no, tight lip, tight lip. All right. So like I was saying earlier, in regards to this whole thing being dismissed, I just want to end on this. So, why do you guys think? Because when I spoke to the lawyers that I did, they were basically saying that most of the cases that get dismissed, they don't prosecution never want to dismiss a case. They want
That's
to take
true.
No, no,
always they
no.
want to always take
Hey,
a
Val.
stab with the jury. We're seeing so many people that don't deserve to go to prison
She
go
wasn't a
to prison.
credible witness. That's why. She
Right.
Yeah.
lied.
Is
Oh,
that
So
what?
oh,
so let's
thank you for this.
let's
What
go to the
makes you think?
deposition. Hold
What?
on.
How,
Let's go to the deposition. So what happened was I provided all the evidence to my brother's lawyer. When Troy got into his Facebook um, uh, page, he sent me every message that was sent that was between those two. I printed
right.
out 44 pages of text messages. Okay. I even did a timeline. They communicated over 60 times when they on Facebook. So when they did the deposition, she didn't know that his lawyer. Uh-oh, what happened?
You're
Hello?
fine. Keep talking. Keep
Please,
talking.
Okay,
You're
so
fine.
what and
keep talking.
so what the
I gotta
prosecutor
go
didn't
to my
know.
Senate in a minute.
So what the prosecutor didn't know that my brother had evidence of a
Right.
consensual relationship. That's why that's why they dropped the
That's
case.
why
She so
they
right,
dismissed.
because
Yeah.
yes, she even said, "I never saw him again," until his lawyer started presenting him text messages, which she refused to read. Read this time and date, and she refused,
Yeah.
and then
She was a.
she
Yeah.
finally admitted that they met up again.
Yeah.
And
She
but
was an
yet,
incredible witness. That's what they call it.
So
yet,
An incredible witness.
slow
yet
She
down,
had
she
no
slow
goes,
down,
credibility.
"Well, I was drinking so
slow
much."
down, please, for my sake, slow down because we got the deposition up here.
Okay.
I want
Oh,
to,
Okay. You
yes.
guys. Hey,
So
you guys can
please,
keep going. Hey,
okay,
you
Troy.
guys can keep going. I'll
Okay,
talk to you guys later. I have something I really have to do that's very
go,
important.
go
It
ahead.
has
I
something
no,
to
got
that's
do
you.
with my
fine,
kids.
absolutely fine.
It has
Go
something to
ahead.
do with my kids. So
Thank you
I'll
so
talk to you
much.
guys
Thank
later.
you
And
so much.
thanks again.
All right, love you. Talk to you
I love
soon.
you. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much for joining, Troy. Right.
Mhm.
So continue, please.
So, oh gosh, I let me see if I can pull up the deposition. So if you go through the deposition, she admitted that she
Yeah,
had
yeah. The deposition is up.
sex
The
with 3
deposition is up.
people in that time frame. And she also admitted that that she did had relations with him a second time, but the
Right.
text message showed if you and that's something that I didn't provide. I'm sorry for that. But the
No, you're
text
fine.
message showed, and I put a timeline together of each time he will message her and say, "Hey, I want to see you." And then she goes, "Oh, well, I'm washing dishes. I'm cleaning up the house. I'll call you when I'm done." Mind you, this is after she told the detective that he doesn't know where I live.
Okay.
He doesn't. Yeah, I only saw him that one time and I never saw him again.
Okay.
So again, that's the reason why. Because if you look in the deposition, when my brother's lawyer presented the text messages,
Mm-hmm.
immediately she goes, "Well, this is what I gave to the detective." My lawyer said, "No." She said, "No, this is what I emailed him." The prosecutor was like, "What are you talking about?" The lawyer
Okay. But,
says,
uh-huh.
this is from this the text messages is from my client." So she never provided any evidence of text messages to
Oh,
the States.
so it was only from your brother's
Exactly.
yeah, evidence
Exactly.
that it came
Right.
in,
The
which is right.
prosecutor wasn't even aware of these 44 pages of text messages.
Right. So help me out here. Help me out here and run through really quickly. Just run through which part was she like, from this deposition that we have here, because there's a lot here. Which part
There's
was
a
she
lot.
doing a lot of the denying? Do you remember like which part
Um,
was the part that
no, I
that
don't
stood out?
remember. I don't remember. I don't remember. I was about to say, let me see if I can pull it up because but you have to realize
I'll find it. Don't worry. I'll
it's
try and find
it's
it. Go ahead.
triggering. It's very triggering
Don't worry. I'll try and find it.
to go through this because I believe, yeah, just go ahead. I'm gonna see if I can pull it up on my phone as well. Because it's
All right.
very
So
triggering go through this.
no, you're fine. You're fine.
And and so I read it just I think I read the deposition a few times. Hold on, let me see if I can pull up the
Well,
where hold on. Okay, I got it right here. I'm about to download it on my phone where she hold on.
no, you're fine. So while you're looking for that, I did get the part up where where it's basically
Mhm,
saying here in regards to the cross examination uh
mhm.
where she was being cross. I'm not sure if you guys can see that.
No, I
Let
know.
me.
Yeah, no, I have. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead, because I'm about
You're
to
fine.
pull up what page?
No, no, you would know the page. You would know the page. Right. So this is the redirect. So unfortunately, so this is the cross examination. It was quite I believe it was a short cross examination. I'm trying my best. Names. Yeah, I did redact to a level. I did redact to a level. So do you have the page number? Do you have the page numbers?
What is that?
Oop,
Um. Okay, I see it. Go ahead.
right? Yeah, you got it.
Mm, I
You got
believe.
it. Okay.
Okay, yeah, I
So
show you Exhibit 5. Yes, I have it. Yes, sir.
okay. So what page number would you like me to go to?
No, you can go ahead and start with the redirect. That's where I see where I have showed you Exhibit 5.
Okay.
Mhm.
Exhibit
And then
five.
she go yeah, and said, "Yes." And then, the lawyer says, "Okay, and you testified and the blue is from you?" And to Troy Charles, "Okay." So that's where
Okay.
I'm at. Mhm.
1 second. I'm just doing a little bit of live redacting because I just realized that there was a part that
Yeah, redact.
I forgot
No
to
worries.
I forgot to redact. So I will
Um,
be done in like a few minutes. It's not long. It's not long. It's just the redirect I've got to do. And now let me get it up. Oh gosh.
yeah, that's what I said. I see
When
some
you
names
forget
on
some
it.
things. Huh?
No, I said, "I see
No,
some
no.
names." Okay. Now ooh,
Okay. No, no,
yeah,
it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Okay.
and
So exhibit five, right? You said
mm,
right? It's one here.
yeah, let me go back up. Yes. Mhm.
So this one is electronic, so you can search it. So yeah.
Mm.
Go ahead. So do you want to read it or should I?
No, you can go ahead.
Okay, so what do you want me to read?
Okay. So this part, oh,
All
whoa.
right.
This part is one of the motives where my brother turns her down. And
So
we
what
have
page
that
is
in
that?
text message. That's actually what you on right now. Okay,
Okay.
don't move, don't move. Go back up.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, where it
Okay.
says Exhibit 5.
Yeah, right
And
here.
then
He says, "I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna
uh
ask you to read the entirety of the two-page documents.
right. Right. Yeah, look, yeah, right. Okay, go back.
This one
You
here.
keep moving. Right. So if you go uh-oh, her name shows up.
Right. Okay. So going. Oh no, that's not right. That's not
Right,
right.
right.
This one here. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Hmm. Miss Murdo is Troy's lawyer. Troy's lawyer. Okay. Cool. This is insane. Oh wait. They can't. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. I think
Oh,
that. Sorry, that's on my end. Oh gosh, thank you so much for that thank you so much for that nom de plume. That's my fault. Yep.
okay. Would you like for
Oh
me to read it again?
damn it. No.
Oh, so that
Yeah,
means this whole
yeah.
time I'm talking, they couldn't hear me.
Sorry, read it again. Read it again. There's a bit of
Oh,
delay as well,
okay,
so
no
that didn't come
worries,
through.
no worries, no worries. And it says, for the record, it says, mind you, this is the lawyer reading because she refused to read her part.
Right.
So, how can we be together and you're not even together yourself? You're in my head is a very sweet person, a very beautiful person, and we just had sex and we had fun together. I wouldn't mind being with you because I know you get down. I know how you get down, and you get down just like I do. And there's no going to be any complaints, if, ands, or buts. But you have to be together, you know. And then,
This is the most sloppiest false accusation I've ever seen in my life. Like
right.
right
And
there's
so, mind
vindication.
you,
Right.
and then she goes, the lawyer goes, January 1st, 2018, correct? Mind you, the accusation happened August of
You know,
2017.
2017, of course, yeah.
Right. And then she goes, correct. And the lawyer says, you're responsive. If I'm correct, this is your response. She goes, yes. So what I just read, you said to him. Hold on.
Yeah, well, I just read you just said to him. Yep. Go no,
Right.
continue.
Okay.
I,
And you have no clue. But hold a second. I'm trying to find out what's the next pages, especially when it's on the phone. Hold on. Oh, and then it goes, okay, da 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 da. Okay, do you know what you said here? And then she goes, I'm not sure. I can only assume. So I'm not sure. So what happened was she deleted her question to my
uh,
brother. And what I just
right,
read was his response. Mind
right.
you, she deleted 17 messages. She deleted 2 messages on the night in question. So I did a little bit of research. Facebook did not come up with the delete feature until January 2019.
Right.
This was the text messages was in January 2018, a whole year before. So that means that she went back to Facebook Messenger and deleted detailed. Yeah, That's what she did. But my thing was but you know what? Even after the assault, how come the only reason why my brother was able to retrieve these damning messages because she never blocked them. This person that brutally beat you, choked you, drugged you, and you never blocked them? And you never turned over the evidence over to the detective? Oh, evidence? Evidence? Right. Also, what
Yeah, so
no,
flipping
so
heck.
this is
Sorry, no,
hold
no, no,
hold
no, no.
hold
My
a second.
end. I will repeat myself because because I was muted again. Sorry, yes. Sorry about that, guys. I was basically saying that when
Okay.
I read the case summary for this, I had enough to go by in regards to the DNA evidence that was found, the two individuals out. That was already enough for my red flags to go flaring up. However, I did not think that there will be this much data available to actually examine the case, let alone it's insane. It's
And
insane that there
wait a
are
minute.
that there are messages stretching from 2015 to 2019 for the duration of the time that they've
Wow.
known each other. On top of that, there is even now you can even make the argument to a jury if it ever got there that she actually went around and deleted this in real time. So that could be seen as tampering with evidence, etc.
It
But
is it
it
is
would
something.
right, but it would make sense why they would withdraw because that is a massive
It's
inconsistency.
it's
Like
it's it's a very
it's
massive
ah,
inconsistency, but also on oh god. What
go ahead.
I'm not sure if he wants me to talk about this now, but it's already in the deposition for your watchers to see.
Right, 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 right,
But if you were brutally R
right.
would you send him a text messages, wishing him a happy birthday? Would you be jealous of his
I can
son's mother, which she was in detail?
I can
Would you
already I can
would you
already hear I can already hear the pseudo feminist now already in my head. They're all saying victims act in ways that are
That's not
incomprehensible.
true. That's not true. I was a victim. I was a victim as well, okay?
I
I was
remember
a
you
victim as
sharing
well.
that earlier.
And
Yeah,
so you don't wish your the person that brutally beat you a happy birthday. It just doesn't happen. Now, I I see in some cases where women do go back to their abusers, especially if they living together, especially if he's the provider. In my brother's situation, he never gave her any money.
right,
They never lived in this under the same roof. My brother didn't even know where she lived because she lied about where she lived.
right,
So what would be her reasoning for going back? Like I said,
right,
there was several motives. One of them, she lied to her boyfriend at the time, saying that she was going out with her friends. If you go into the depositions there in front of you, she said, "Oh, I'm sick. Everybody knows I'm sick. I don't even drink." The lawyer have her read the text message where my brother wished her a happy birthday and asked her what she was doing. She said, "I'm drinking and I'm about to get drunk." She even told her brother, whom I talked to, that says, "Oh, my sister doesn't drink." Oh, yes, she does. And then some. So in
So
and so in
so
my mhm.
go on. Sorry.
No, but in my brother's case, what I was trying to get to, in her case, it was calculated and it was premeditated.
Right.
She the false accuser, contacted my brother and asked him about the birthday party. Even looking the deposition, she said no, he contacted her. That's not true. The text message shows she contacted him. He said, "Well, I'm not sure if I'm gonna
That's a
go." She
massive
said,
inconsistency right there.
"That's a
I told you.
massive inconsistency." You know what
Right.
another bigger in do you know what another bigger inconsistency is? You know
Go
what she
on.
sent him? She sent him a pregnancy test.
Why?
What do you think?
Well,
What woman gonna send a man a pregnancy test?
but okay.
Mm.
That's, I mean, to me, that's just strange. That's
Why is it
completely
strange?
that's completely messed up. But I want again, like, so in all of this, I want to ask you the question. Seeing your brother go through this, uh, when you look at cases of accusations coming forward, people coming forward with accusations, after seeing your brother go through it, how do you how do you separate the credible from the non-credible?
How do you separate it? What do you mean by that?
Like, is it like, do you look at it with a more critical eye where you're like, okay, I'm gonna give the benefit of the doubt, or is it something where you're like, okay, they're all lying?
Well, in in my brother's case, um, the first thing, because he called and asked for my help. He was like, sis, I don't know what to do. I really need your help. I don't know how to,
Right.
get to the bottom of this." And so, um, the the thing I did first, I read the article. The article was basically the affidavit,
Right.
the probable call affidavit. The article was the affidavit word for word, and it was a very brutal scenario that she painted. It was a very brutal picture, and it put him as a monster. Like, it took me a long time to read it. And I told him, "If you did this, I'm not going to support you. I'm not going to help you. So if you did this," because I'm like, "Hey, a lot of people is not who you think they are. A lot of people are monsters behind closed doors." And I know, my brother, we was raised without a mother and a father, so I practically raised him myself.
On explains the closeness.
My brother wasn't like that.
Right.
If I send you the text messages, I he was a gentleman, actually. Not one dirty word, not one curse word. Look, I can show you my cell phone.
No, no,
If I can tell
you're
you,
fine.
no, 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 no. I'm making a point. If all the little dirty text messages men send to me, what you
You're
doing?
fine.
What you wearing? What you
I,
wearing? You know.
okay, I'm gonna
But my
read this
thing,
chat. No,
go ahead. I'm
I
sorry.
want to
Go
read this
ahead.
chat from Nom de Plume that says, "Not sure where you will stand legally, but have you and Troy thought of writing a book?" Uh, have you guys all thought about that?
Wow.
And we're gonna
No,
close out
not
on
at
that.
all. Mind you, but thank you so much. I do IT full time. And so I was
Oh yeah,
actually
congrats on your
working.
promotion, by the way.
Why, thank you. Because I'm a IT nerd. So I was building virtual servers. And so this is what I was doing during the day and then working my brother's case at night. Like being up 2, 3 in the morning. I couldn't sleep. I gained weight. I was drinking. I actually had to seek a therapist as well. So it's not affected him, it affected
Yeah, it
me.
affected you
And
as
I was
well. Yeah.
absolutely, because, I talked to family members and they was like, I don't know. And I'm like, but most of the people in my family was like, no, that's not him. That's not his character. And it really wasn't when and I had to call him and like, wow, like I'm shocked. Like he was a complete gentleman to this lady. He treated her well. That's the crazy part of it. That's
Yeah.
what I
And
don't understand. I get if he was a a-hole, you know what I'm saying? But not in the least. Not at
right.
all. He this is the second motive. Well, the second or
Well,
third motive.
unfortunately, we don't have that much time because well, we've kind of overrun the time a little bit
Oh,
because
I'm so
I
sorry. I'm so
really wanted to keep
sorry.
this under 2 hours, but it's now 2 hours, 35.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna call it a close, but thank you so much. I would love to have both of you back because this is not, oh, it's not over.
Yes,
Yeah,
let's come back and finish the story. Please.
it's definitely not over. I want to see what you and Troy have got planned for the, in handling or clean all the cleaning up of this case, because again, it's been a tornado that has pretty much ruined your life. So I appreciate you for coming on. I appreciate Troy as well for also coming on and sharing his views, sharing his story. And it's really sad to hear a lot of things that's come out, especially in regards to his children, etc., and
Right.
how much this has really destroyed an innocent person's life, and it's really flimsy case. And I'm really happy it didn't go to trial, because God knows what would happen. But thank you everyone once again for tuning
Thank
in.
you.
Thank you, Nicole, for rocking with me. Make sure you check out drheinz.info, and where I'll be posting up the redacted version, the redacted all of this on there, and showing so that you guys can go read for yourself and get acquainted with the case. I'll also be communicating on the community notes as well, should this develop, and should this go further. I want to do more cases like this. In fact, this is way ahead of schedule, because I was actually planning to go, like, like, to actually track these cases down in the UK, because that was the main idea for this, because the UK is really not transparent. Like, the courts over here are not transparent. So I really wanted to get to the ground, speak to the people that are going through cases like this, criminal cases. But personally, it doesn't have to be of this nature where it's actual false allegation. It was just amazing that this allegation one really dropped in, but it's also people that have been wronged by a system one way or the other, like where I've looked at their cases, etc. So that was the main idea. It's called Untold Stories, and this is the first episode of doing it proper. I'm really happy that the Charleses, Nicole and Troy, has really sat down with me to really go through this. Again, like I said, it's ahead of schedule. Apologies for the technical difficulties, etc., that you were on here. But we plan to bring you more and more streams. I will definitely be editing this, repackaging it, and making sure that it's out there on the main profile, so that you guys can see. Again, go on drheinz.info and get all of the details from this case. And yeah, look out for more Untold stories that I want to really attack this year. And I want to, well, I was gonna do it next year, but I kind of have to, like, yeah, I kind of have to uh go through it this year. So, but anyway, thank you so much for tuning in to today. Take care of yourself. Have a great day or evening or morning, wherever you're at. And yeah, I'll see you on the next Heinz report, or whatever live that we have throwing up on the channel. So go check that out. Hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notification button to be notified. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Have a good evening.